Why you're tired, foggy, unmotivated, somehow gaining weight, even though your diet consists of mostly air and regret, yeah, you might be dealing with low testosterone. A lot of guys just chalk it up to getting older, but let's be real, you shouldn't feel like you need a nap after tying your shoes. And if your workouts feel more like warm-ups, your sleep is terrible, your sex drive is in the witness protection program, it might be time to get checked out. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they use advanced medical strategies. I'm talking TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more to help you get your energy back, improve sleep, boost your workouts, shed pounds, all right? The appointment is just $99. That includes a medical consult, plus a T and PSA test. And if you start treatment that day, your visit is completely free. So call them at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
So what makes Champ Honda different? It's simple. One price, one person, 1 hour, meaning clear, upfront, and fair pricing. There are no games, no guesswork, and you work with a single client advisor from start to finish. No runaround, there's no back and forth, and 1 hour so you can spend less time at the dealership and more time doing what you love. Plus, at Champ Honda, they never charge dealer handling fees. None. It's a better way to buy a car, and once you experience it, you'll wonder why every dealership doesn't do it this way.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98 with free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
When it's time to sell your home, you hope your agent knows the market, timing, pricing, interest rates, neighborhoods, staging open houses, understanding contracts, completing paperwork. Oh, and can actually help guide you on your big move. Don't hope, know. When you hire a Weichert agent, you can be sure you've got a partner who will guide you every step of the way, from listing to closing and everything in between. Weichert, dream, move, home. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
At Smart Local 9 Sheet Metal Workers, they provide highly trained sheet metal professionals ready to get the job done safely, efficiently, and with pride. Their workforce is built through a comprehensive 4-year apprenticeship program where apprentices earn while they learn, receiving industry-leading training in fabrication and installation of HVAC systems, as well as HVAC service, architectural sheet metal, testing, adjusting, and balancing, welding, computer-aided drafting, safety, and emerging technologies. Find out more at smw9.com.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're a guy over 50 dealing with an enlarged prostate, you need to know about PAE, prostate artery embolization. It's minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're back home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatments with near zero impact on sexual function. Top-tier radiologists, boutique setting, personalized care in Lakewood. Go to coloradoae.com.
Over his Hall of Fame career, Terrell Davis racked up impressive numbers. 65 touchdowns, 2 championships, almost 8,000 rushing.
That's why I bank at Colorado Credit Union.
That's a weird segue.
Colorado Credit Union treats me like a person, not a number.
With personal service, great rates, and smart financial advice.
And those are just 3 great perks.
We can stop with the numbers now.
You don't have to be a legend to bank like one at Colorado Credit Union. Visit ccu.org. Terms and restrictions apply. Federally insured by the NCUA.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, rolling along. Gotta let this drop, though. So good. All right, Garrett Bowles. Garrett Bowles had to go on Kay Adams.
Of course.
All right. She bats her eyes at you, and you have to do what she says.
Yeah, there you go. That's Sean. Sean does it all the time. Doesn't like us.
No.
He's gonna look at us this year. I wonder what he's gonna say to Mr. ZB, because Z, you always say, and ask really, really good questions. But I'm wondering what he's gonna do and act towards you, man.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna ask him a question yet.
It probably depends on the day. You know what I mean? Like Sean is so interesting. But he can be tricky. You know what I mean? He can be tricky from day to day, so you just don't know what you're going to get. But Bowlesy, we got to get Bowlesy in here.
He said he is coming in. Now, he said that towards OTAs, which is starting now, towards the end of it, before he goes off, he wants to. But it's like, GB, I'm seeing you all around. You're making your rounds, but you don't want to come sit with me and ZB. What's going on, bro?
Well, he's joining here, probably through his phone. You know what I mean? And we want him in studio, so that's a little bit taller of a task. But hopefully, we can do it before the season. Bowles hasn't done a lot of that locally, so I'm hoping we're able to pull it off. So anyway, Bowles sitting down with Kay Adams, all right, and he is asked about Davis Webb, and I thought he gave a pretty insightful answer. You can judge for yourself. Here is as insightful of an answer as you're going to get from Garrett, right? And here's Mr. Bowles.
No, for sure. I'm glad you said that. It is damn he's good. I mean, that's really what it is. It's he's so young, obviously away from football. I mean, he just retired not too long ago, right? And to be able to have a coach that understands the game, but not like the old school game. I'm talking about this newest game that we played. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I was in the league when he was in the league, and now he can take what he's learned, through so many different coaches and so many different offenses and find out what's best for him. And he's so smart with the X's and O's. Obviously, he went to Texas Tech, then went to Cal, two prestige colleges, and knowing that, who he is as a person, I love him to death. He's such a good person. And, to have a younger guy like that on the coaching staff that understands how we feel and our emotions and our ups and downs, he can control all that and put us in the best situations. And he's not afraid to drop everything on the line and let it rip. And that's what we need. We want that confidence, and we want that love, and we have that. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. I'm excited to get on the field in the next couple of days and get ready to rock and roll, and then get off for the summer and then hit training camp where we left off from last year.
All right, you normally don't get a minute 22-second answers from Garrett Bowles.
Yeah, GB's not going to speak a lot.
But he was talkative, right? Most people get talkative when they're sitting down with Kay.
I'm actually proud of him. He sounds good. He sounds just like me now. We used to sound the same when we used to play. Now, GB's done a great job. Maybe went through some classes like myself here.
He actually, I know you're having fun, but there's some seriousness in there.
Yeah.
He is such a better speaker than he was when he, for the first handful of years. It was we used to have a lot of fun with him. You know what I mean? We just had a lot of fun with Garrett. and in a good spirited way, not like like a sinister way.
No.
But he gave us so much material.
Yeah, what was it? The chickens are
Oh my God, there's so much. I mean, just my zone is GB zone, and I get it out the mud. I got it out the mud, and I wasn't raised where the cows are chirping, but he said something there, and I just it speaks to a larger theme here.
Mm-hmm.
And going into the last break, I said Garrett Bowles gave his thoughts on new offensive coordinator Davis Webb. I'm just not sure it would hit someone's ears the right way or the way that he intended it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about Sean Payton. Because you hear what he said there. He's like, he's just retired recently and he knows football, but he doesn't just know football. Like he knows the new football.
But now.
And the current landscape. And, he's not old school. And it's like, okay, if Sean's listening to that answer, it just probably doesn't hit his ears the right way. Sean Payton just coached a team to 14-3 with a second-year quarterback on the heels of being a 10-game winner with a rookie quarterback. And I think so much of the Davis Webb hype train, and I understand he's a young hotshot, but you've never done the job before.
No.
And there is just this massive collective assumption, and I'm including all of us, that you're going to see this new frontier of offense with Davis Webb, and I'm like, man.
But Z, why do you think that is? Why do you think everybody is feeling that way? It starts with being in that building, in the building telling us this. It starts with the players having faith like GB is right now, telling us and explaining how Davis Webb is going to be this year.
Sure.
Then when you have the players that are around Davis Webb all the time, you have Bo Nix that's around Davis Webb all the time telling us that they're excited that he's the new offensive coordinator, then we're going to be excited. We're going to sit here and starting to explain how we feel about it and what it can look like. Because what the players and the coaching staff have given us. They have given us information saying that Davis Webb is an OC. He's a young OC. And you have Sean Payton, who's stepping down for the first time as a play caller. All right, we're going to sit here and we're going to have a lot to say about Davis Webb, good and bad. One thing that I thought was interesting that GB explained was he said that Davis Webb is going to let it rip. He is not going to be afraid to let it rip. And to me, it's like, okay, what is he thinking of when it comes to Sean Payton? Did Sean Payton not let it rip? Did he not just go out there and let things go and let Bo just throw the ball? And I guess when it comes to GB and some of these other players, they didn't like some of the plays that were called. Maybe a couple of the plays that were called in the AFC Championship game they weren't agreeing with. Or maybe they wanted to be more aggressive downfield at times, and Sean wasn't ready to do that because sometimes as an old coach and an old play caller, you start to have backflashes and PTSD of what you did in the past that did not work, and now you're not as aggressive as a young play caller will be. So those are the things that are going through my head of what maybe GB's trying to put out there, that this offense is going to be more dominant because they're going to be more aggressive downfield with the passes and of course the run game.
Well, there's a lot there. Here's what I'll say about letting it rip.
Let it rip.
You can't let it rip more than 612 passing attempts that led the National Football League. We do realize that Bo Nix passed the ball more than anyone in the NFL last year. But I do agree that within that or under that umbrella, it was not a lot of downfield stuff. It was not a lot of seam stuff. It was a lot of turn to the sideline type of Oregon offense.
But
almost.
That's what GB is saying by saying letting it rip,
Sure.
not the screen game.
Sure.
All right, we want to utilize Jalen Waddle's speed, Marvin Mims' speed, all right, the 50-50 ball with Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant. We've been able to see that a couple of times where he's getting downfield against the Kansas City Chiefs at home. We had that nice play for 35-40 yards, which was a pass from Bo to Pat Bryant. They want to see more of that. We want to see more of that. Phillip Lindsay, myself, I want to see more of that, and I think that's where GB's saying letting it rip. They're going to do a lot more of that with Davis Webb being the offensive play caller.
All right, I know you really want to see it when you go third person. when Phillip Lindsay really wants to see it, man, he
Phillip
really
Lindsay
wants
loves
to
the
see
kids.
it.
Phillip Lindsay loves the kids, but also Phillip Lindsay loves seeing it rip.
All right, time will tell if Bowles' words come true there.
I came from the mud.
All right, we know.
The grass is green and the cows are chirping.
He's the best. He's the best.
The cows are chirping.
Well, the rest of the Broncos schedule did come into focus today. we know what the preseason is going to look like on paper. What does it actually look like in practice? We'll get to it next.
Avalanche, Golden Knights. It's the Western Conference Final, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is all in. 1 hour before puck drop, we're live with full pregame coverage, keys to the game, bold predictions, and the intel you need. When the final horn sounds, we're not going anywhere. Instant post-game reaction. Every hit, every goal, every save. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
Here's what most siding companies won't tell you. By the time it looks bad on the outside, the real damage is already underneath. In Colorado, that happens faster than most people expect. I trust Gravina's Window Center of Littleton because they start there with what actually holds up long term. 50 years plus serving Denver, Colorado on the Front Range. Right now, 20% off of James Hardy siding. Check them out, windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
Max HELOC is a game changer and can lower your bill significantly without affecting your current loan. How much savings depends on your unique situation, but you could borrow $250,000 with a payment option as low as $495 a month. Consolidate your debts and make life a lot easier. We make it easy to save, and you don't need perfect credit either. U.S. Mortgages, and our number says it all, 303 low rate.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
In a city full of choices, your savings destination is Groove Toyota, the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro. Over 200 pre-owned vehicles in stock, including MPG MVPs and Toyota certified with full warranties. Visit GrooveToyota.com. Don't wait. 50 vehicles priced under $15,000 won't last. Buy today in person or at GrooveToyota.com. Start here. Go anywhere.
Offer expires 6/1/26. Not all will qualify. Restrictions apply with approved credit. Call 720-961-4465 for complete details.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 1043 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, so today, the rest of the Broncos' schedule came into complete focus as the preseason was announced, and more conspiracies behind the scenes that the Broncos are trying to get into the spotlight that the Avs are occupying. There was a lot of this a week ago with their news. Well, really, it was about 2 weeks ago. What was happening the day that George Payton's deal was announced?
There wasn't. I think it was the Nuggets presser.
It was a Nuggets presser. Yes, and it came out in like the exact time that and so there has been long-standing speculation, really not amongst fans. I don't think fans really care, but like within members of the media, there's been like long-standing speculation that sometimes teams, specifically the Broncos, will strategically drop news on days that are occupied by other of the sports teams in town.
Blame the Broncos, huh?
And so I don't buy any of it personally. I think Drew does behind the scenes. Drew,
I'm the one promoting it. Yeah. And don't lie, you buy some of it.
I can see it. I can see it happening, especially if like you got a PR guy that doesn't like another one. You're like, I'm gonna mess with him a little bit. I can see it happening.
It was super I'll say convenient that George Payton's news that could get announced at any time came out the moment that the press conference for Josh Kroenke was supposed to start. I don't know. I can't make heads and tails of it. I don't really care either which way. If there's some sort of strategy involved, whatever. But the Broncos preseason did come out today on day one of the Western Conference Finals for the Avs, and we now know what the preseason is going to look like on paper. All right, so week one of the preseason will be on Friday, August 14th. All right, and it'll be happening right during our show at 5 o'clock here in Atlanta against the Falcons. And then preseason week two is going to be here in Denver the following Friday, August 21st, hosting the Green Bay Packers. And I think we just did that, didn't we? The Packers were just here.
Yeah, it was.
Was that last year or the year before?
Well, it was the year before. It was a joint practice, if you remember.
The joint practice.
Yes. And then they had the preseason game.
Yes.
That Saturday.
But was that last year or 2 years ago?
No, that was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think the joint practice last year was against Arizona. Remember, it was Arizona was there. And, Denver beat up on Arizona, Kyler Murray on the other side. It was Arizona last year.
Wow. For some reason,
and then
that escapes me.
You should have known that.
I went to the game.
Exactly.
I took my son to the game.
Yeah, look at you.
And that was when all the new Broncos were starred on that first possession. It was like Evan Ingram for like 70 yards.
And who was calling plays?
Davis Webb.
There we go.
Okay. That's right. It was Arizona a year ago.
I'm stalking you, man. I know your life.
They played the Packers in the regular season, and that was the day that you were honored, and
yes,
I was there.
You were there.
All right. We're making it all make sense.
Here we go.
So week 2 of the preseason, hosting the Green Bay Packers, and then week 3 of the preseason, it's once again hosting here in Denver the Minnesota Vikings. So 2 of the 3 games in the preseason here in Denver. I think that's important because if there's families out there that grew up like you and I did, that's an awesome opportunity to go see a version of the Broncos in a way that you may otherwise not have the capability to, because tickets are super affordable.
For sure. It's not, but it's also not just about the price. And you talked about this. It's about it not being as crowded. Not everybody's going to go to a preseason game. So if you do want to bring your kids, that's the best time to do it. You don't have to worry about it being so crowded. Get your kids a pretzel and have a little bit of fun. And then you get to see other guys that are are honestly may make the team, may not. A lot of them will not make the team. But it's fun to kind of introduce your kids that are young to football without it being so serious.
Yeah, and the seriousness part, because you bring a 5-year-old to a regular season game and you sit in the south stands, like, you might learn a few words, you know.
And then the soap has to come right back out, right? Z?
Right. We're okay on that front for right now.
Well, I need that soap for my son.
All right. Well, so these preseason games, how do you think Sean Payton and the Broncos will handle them in terms of the starters playing, the Davis Webb trial run, before the most brutal 6-game stretch to open a season that we've ever seen?
Yeah, so I think this year, because you are so veteran heavy, you're not going to see a lot of these guys playing. I think a lot of it's going to be practice. It's going to probably be that joint practice. I know you don't want to hear that, but for Davis Webb, no matter if the stars are playing or the backups or guys are not going to make the team, he is still going to take it serious. He is still going to go out there and try to put together this great game plan to move down the field. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that they're not going to play at all. What I'm saying is you're not going to see them play all 3 preseason games.
Right.
It might be the first 2 of the year where Bo Nix, if he's healthy enough and he's ready to go, they go out there for 15 plays. They get that done, and then they're done for the day. I will say this. You need to be out there, though. You have to callous your body. And I always tell this story, and I'm going to tell it again with Jonathan Taylor when I was with the Indianapolis Colts. JT, he didn't do anything. He didn't do a joint practice. He didn't do a preseason game. And then all of a sudden, the first game comes rolling around, and JT gets hurt against the Houston Texans. That opened the door for me to play. And in the back of my head, although JT is a great player but also a great person, I knew that JT wasn't going to be able to last a whole year because he hasn't been going through the reps. He hasn't been hit like I was. So I knew that if as time goes on, as a running back, a lot of running backs go down, I was going to get an opportunity.
Sure.
I didn't know I was going to get an opportunity game 2, week 2. And so for the Denver Broncos, you still have to have that game action. You still have to callous yourself. So I'm expecting them to be out there and Davis Webb to get some good work in there. But I don't expect the Denver Broncos starters to be in there the last game of the year or last preseason game going into the first game of the year.
And that'll be the Minnesota game, week 3. I don't know how this is going to work. I would like to think that Sean Payton is going to try to plan a joint practice with one of these teams, Green Bay or Minnesota. We know he's got a good relationship with Matt LaFleur,
Yep.
so maybe they just run it back from what they did 2 summers ago. Or maybe he knows Kevin O'Connell and they just wants a different look. And if you're not going to play guys in the 3rd preseason game, that may lend itself to a joint practice leading up to that 3rd preseason game. We get your starters a bunch of work.
And then George Payton, he came from Minnesota.
Oh, no.
So for George,
sure.
I can see that happening, Z, where the last preseason game 3, they have a joint practice with the Minnesota Vikings. The vets get a bunch of reps during practice, and then they're off for the game and getting ready for the regular season.
Well, and speaking of that, by the way, we got news today that assistant GM Reed Burkhardt is going to get a second interview with those same Vikings. So there's connections up and down these organizations. So we'll see how it all plays out. I have more thoughts on it that I'll dish to you a little bit later in today's show. But for now, we'll circle back to the Avs. What are the 5 biggest themes to watch between the Avs and Knights that will define the Western Conference Finals? That's next.
You asked for it, you got it. Backed by popular demand, it's the Drives Brouhaha.
Big social brouhaha.
This spring, Zach and Phil are back on the road, bringing their party to you. First stop, the Golden Triangle in Denver. May 22nd from 2 to 6 at Schoolyard Beer Garden.
There was quite a brouhaha.
Come find out what the commotion's all about. Head to DenverSports.com/drive for more details.
Guaranteed to bring the brouhaha.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Let me tell you a story about a couple who felt like they were drowning. Credit cards, rising prices, and no room to breathe. They thought they'd be judged. Instead, American Financing showed them a way forward because they're family-owned, not one of those big banks where you're just a number. They're salary-based. Mortgage consultants helped this couple look at their whole financial picture. With a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments. You may also close in as fast as 10 days. Their average customer is saving $800 a month. That kind of relief changes everything. Suddenly, they weren't financing their past. They were funding their future. One manageable payment, more cash flow, less stress, and no upfront fees. no obligation. Your story can change too. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334 and MLSconsumeraccess.org.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Water is essential to life.
Humans are 60% water.
Water carved the Grand Canyon and it pummels boulders into sand.
But a little water leak in your roof can cause mold and deterioration of your home.
Let Denver Roof Pros stay on top of your roof with our preventative roof service plans to prolong your roof's life and protect your home and the people you love.
Check it out at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. Is your car making a weird noise and you're not sure what exactly is going on? All Points Automotive makes it easy for you. Free diagnostics and estimates from a 100% mobile mechanic who comes to you. To book your appointment, visit allpoints-automotive.com.
Hi, I'm Roxy Vendina, owner of Permagreen. Along with our superior line of garden product, we also package decorative bark, shredded red cedar, and the new premium Gorilla Hair. This year, choose Permagreen decorative bark products.
Now available at Home Depot, Lowe's, and wherever better garden products are sold.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than New York Minute.
Here we go.
Hanging out with you here on a hump day, a huge day in Denver sports. And really, like you think about this stuff, like in terms of like one of the most important days in recent Denver sports memory, this is the second conference finals for the Avs in 24 years.
That's insane. That's insane to think.
It is. It is. And like you just don't live through this very often. You just don't. I mean, this could be, and obviously, knock on wood, you hope not, but this could be the last one for 24 years. You just never, as we are learning with the Denver Nuggets right now in real time, you are never sure how windows work in sports. Before the season, I thought it was the best Nuggets team that they've ever assembled.
Yeah.
6 months later, I'm not sure they'll ever be back in the Western Finals again, let alone win another championship. I just don't know.
No, Z, but on top of that, it's not just about constructing the roster and putting the best players on the court or the ice. You also have to have a little bit of luck.
Sure.
When it comes to injuries. And for example, the Denver Broncos, they have been very, very healthy. So hopefully the injury bug does not latch onto them this year, knowing that in my heart, it's a Super Bowl or bust type of year. For the Avs, the reason why they've been able to have success, of course, is the roster having that firepower, but they've been able to stay healthy. Even old man Burns, who's been healthy all his career, is still staying healthy at 41 years old. When it came to the Nuggets, though, I mean, it was injury after injury after injury. Then they would get healthy, be together for 2 or 3 games, then get hurt again. And you can't win like that on top of not putting together a good roster that's young and athletic. So we have to be able to sit here, be where our feet are, and enjoy these moments because they're not going to last forever.
No, they certainly won't. Nothing gold can stay. And so right now there's a bit of gold to this Avalanche group, and it's also, Phil, and I know you know this to be true, but it's also like the landscape around you, right? Like,
yes.
like what does the path look like to a championship? Do you happen to be going up against the prime Kansas City Chiefs? Like, do you have, like, if you're Patrick Ewing and John Starks and you're running up against Michael Jordan, or you're Karl Malone and John Stockton and Byron Russell and all those, Jeff Hornacek, those great Utah Jazz teams, if you drop them in another era, do they win 1 or 2 titles? Maybe. I would say yes. If you're pushing Jordan and Pippen and the Bulls to Game 6, I would like to believe that in another era you actually win a championship, but they weren't in that era. They were in the era that they were planted, and it just doesn't work out.
You know what hit me yesterday? What you said is with the Denver Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets won 50-plus games, and we were excited about it. They went on a 12-game win streak. But then you also said, but majority of the teams in the NBA were tanking. So then it's like, damn.
1/3 of the league.
1/3 of the league. And so it's like, damn, like, yes, we're winning these games. We're excited. But so are these other teams losing. They're excited because they want to lose. They're losing on purpose. So when you're looking at the Denver Nuggets, it's like, yeah, you got those wins, but was it truly the right way? Because the teams weren't invested that you were playing against them, and it showed in the first round, and that's why you got your asses kicked by some backup players against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's like little things like that, Z, I think of. I'm like, man, don't take things for granted because you never know what's going on, even around you.
No, and even just putting all these factors together, staying healthy, the landscape around you, just there's a lot to it. There's a lot of layers here. But we've also combed through a lot of layers to get to this point, Game 1 of the Western Finals. And I want to talk about the 5 themes that will define the next 2 weeks. And for me, I believe the biggest theme of this series will be the depth scoring and just the depth on display. The Avs have had 17 different players score a goal in these playoffs. They're just the 7th team in NHL history to have at least that many unique goal scorers through a team's first 9 games in the postseason, and the first time it's happened since 1993 from the Los Angeles Kings. This is really unique, and I think it has potential to define the Western Finals.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. It's about finding ways to compete, finding ways to stay in the thick of things. And so when you are doing that, you are in these battles, you have to have everybody on the same page, everybody on point, Z. It's going to be a big one, and it starts right now, game one. Everybody has to be on point, knowing that Kale's not going to be there.
No.
Knowing that everybody else is going to have to do a little bit more. Knowing that you need your stars to shine from the start. Nate Dogg, Netches, and then the bottom six, like you just got done talking about, Parker Kelly.
Yes.
All right, Kulak, when he's asked to do it again, where he was able to help us win in the overtime with the goal to finish off the Wild. You need your bottom six to do their part. You're going to need people like Burns to show up knowing that Kale's not going to be available. So it's going to take everybody doing their job and even more. In the bottom six, they are going to have to shine.
Yeah, and that's really where the roads diverge between a team like Vegas and a team like Colorado, because they have high-end talent. They do. They really do. Vegas does. But they simply do not have 4 waves of players that will be coming at you. And that I would like to think the Avs are so deep, you're able to absorb a loss of one of the 5 best players in the world in Cale Makar and still win a game like tonight without him. And listening today to who's our guy yesterday, Ken Balke, or Ken Balke from Sinbin Vegas. He said, and this is someone who watches every single Vegas game of their existence. He said if you traded the entire third line from Vegas and tried to trade it for the Avs' entire fourth line, you would have to attach a first-round pick to pull it off.
Damn.
Like, that's the difference here of even the Avs' fourth line. The Avs' fourth line is a lot of other teams' second line.
It's LOC, Jack Drury, Parker Kelly, players that are showing up. LOC coming off that hip injury, and so, he's been a little quiet.
He has.
I think he's going to pick things up, and I think at some point they're going to put him back on the penalty kill because that's where he thrives to help out. But you're right. Parker Kelly coming up big, scoring a goal last series. Jack Drury is doing some of the dirty work. So it's the fourth line who has done some of the work. And Z, I really love that Bednar and even Chris McFarland, because he's in these meetings, they made adjustments, right? We talk about Val and Brock Nelson needing to step up and get more points. Both of them had 3 points.
Sure.
Well, this is what they're doing now. They're keeping Brock on the second line, but they have moved Val down to the third line. Now he's paired with Kadri and Ross Colton. That's going to open up for Val to do more scoring, be more aggressive offensively and not just defensive-minded. So I like that they're doing little things that could probably hurt the Vegas Knights and help us with the bottom six, putting someone like Val on that third line.
Well, the Avs have that capability.
Crazy.
It really, like, the versatility with this group. Remember, Fat Joe had a line. Well, what did he say? He goes, "Why is everybody so mad at the South for? Switch the style up. Switch to Southpaw."
Yeah.
That's what the Avs can do. They can just all shapeshift, like truly just shapeshift with moves the way that you just described. So, I think the depth scoring is the number one key to me in this series. And here are the guys who haven't scored yet, because 17 different guys have. Joel Kiviranta. Kivy has yet to put one in the back of the net. Josh Manson has yet to put one in the back of the net. Jack Ashawn, has yet to put one in the back of the net. And Brent Burns. So those are the only 4 Avs players without a goal in the playoffs. Burns is only one of the 4 that I just named that has played in all 9 games.
Yeah.
He does have 3 assists for what it's worth. Secondarily, for me, beyond the depth scoring, going through the 5 things that will define the Western Conference Finals, unfortunately, it's just the health of the club. It's just the health of the club. How much time is Cale going to miss? And is it 1 game? Is it 5 games? We don't know. This time yesterday, almost everyone thought Cale was going to play.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't want to get caught in a trap that, well, he's just missing 1 game. He'll be back for game 2. I don't know that yet. So I knew, man, for Cale Makar to leave a postseason game with an injury, man, it's got to be so real. And then you get the news, of course, that he's not playing. It's like fully sinks in. He's only missed 1 postseason game ever. And I don't even think it was because he was hurt. Drew, what, did he get suspended at a certain point?
That was the Seattle series where he got suspended for boarding, quote unquote.
That's
Vince
right.
Dunn.
And that was in the first round the year after the Cup.
Correct.
That's the only game he's ever missed. And tonight's the second. It's a huge deal. And if he misses 2-3 games, I mean, obviously the importance of his absence only grows.
Well, Z, it's not even just Kel, because I'm hoping Kel comes back in game 2, hopefully for sure game 3. But now when you have Kel out, now it forces the pairings to move up, and now you have players that are going to play more minutes. Well, Malinsky was out a couple games. All right, Manson missed a couple games. They're dealing with injuries too. They may not be as serious as Kel's, but they're still dealing with them. Britt Burns was another one, right, that was dealing with something. So, like, you're thinking about this, it's like, damn, the pairings are getting thin. Defensively on that blue line, it's getting thin. Kel's not there. If something happens to another person, let's just say Malinsky, all right, now what? All right, now you're rolling out there. You're going to have to probably roll out there. You're going to have the 2 lines that are going to play a lot. All right, Devon Taves, Malinsky, Kulak, and Manson. So you're going to lean on them. But they're going to get tired as well. And so I'm concerned with some of these other players when it does come to the injuries, because it's putting more on their plate, and they're still dealing with things that are lingering.
Well, and I'll say this too. It's not just an Avalanche problem. They're missing Mark friggin' Stone.
Yeah, captain.
He's the captain of the team. He's a 75-point guy. He scored 28 goals this year and had 45 assists. So, I mean, he hasn't he got knocked out in a game. It was game 3 on May 8th. But, yeah, their captain isn't going. Like, that's a huge deal. Eriksson Ek, a series ago, didn't go. That was a huge deal. So this is not an Avalanche-specific problem. We do know, I mentioned this earlier, but just for clarity, Sam Malinsky, Josh Manson, Brett Burns, Arturi Lehkonen have all dealt with something in the postseason, but they're all going to play tonight. Malinsky and Leckie didn't play games 4 and 5 against the Wild. They had upper body injuries. And Manson returned for games 4 and 5 after missing 4 games with an upper body injury as well. So let's just, obviously we're going to be monitoring all things Avs, but that Cale Makar situation and anything else, you can't afford to lose another body. And then, we've been talking about this for months, but the third of 5 things that I believe that will define the Western Conference Finals is who's better in net.
I would have put that number 1, Z.
You could.
I would put that number 1.
But I'll say this. Name me a Vezina finalist that is playing in the conference finals.
Yeah.
They're all out. So, but you could. I mean, if goaltending is a massive problem or it's an elite advantage, it can go to number 1 on any list for good or bad. We don't know how this is going to go here. Wedgie against Carter Hart tonight. Do we see Blackwood in the series? I hope not. It's not anti-Blackwood. It's just
no. If Blackwood is back in the series, then Wedgie is struggling. And it's not just one game, because I believe that Bednar is not going to just pull him after one game. He's going to give him a chance to redeem himself. And if he cannot do it, then you're going to see Blackwood. So you need Wedgie to be out there at his best, seeing the puck well, making a couple big-time saves. But also, like I said yesterday, Z, it's not all on Wedgie, especially when you know that Wedgie has struggled at times. The people in front of Wedgwood, they're going to have to do more. And that's the defenseman on the blue line, all right? It's Malinsky, it's Taser, it's Brent Burns, and I'm a little nervous because, yes, Wedgwood's going to have to do his part. But the people in front have to do theirs. And when Burns gets his opportunities, he sometimes has been a step slow. And so now you're putting more pressure on Wedgwood.
Yes.
And then that's when you see Wedgwood mess up. And now we're all upset talking about the goalie is the issue. That is not the case. All right, everybody has to be doing their part. So, yes, Scott Wedgwood, who will be in between the pipes tonight, needs to play well throughout the series. And he will, because he has the confidence. And he has done that all year long. He has been very consistent. But everybody else in front of him, they got to do their part so he can do his.
Well, Carter Hart has been a real big part of their turnaround. A lot of people point to the hiring of Torts and getting rid of Bruce Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
But the rise of Carter Hart, I mean, they have another Stanley Cup winning goaltender that just sits there because Carter Hart took that job. Aiden Hill, right, in just a few years ago, watching him circle the ice with the Stanley Cup over his head, and he's just sitting there because Carter Hart took that job by force. So as much as people are giving Tortorella, a bunch of credit for flipping this thing, and he gets, hired with 8 games left in the season, Carter Hart really has ascended, and we'll see the dynamics. Who's better. Carter Hart's been really good here recently in the postseason. Last round, he was really good.
Really, really good.
So let's keep our eye on that dynamic. Your confidence in Wedgwood, out of 100, you couldn't be more confident. 1, you have no confidence. What is it in Wedgie tonight?
I'm going to do 85%. I'm confident
like
in Wedgwood, but knowing that Kel is not going to be available, and Kel does a lot of work to help Wedgie out too with Taser, it's going to put more pressure on Wedgwood to come up with a couple bigger saves. So I'm going to say 85%. Everybody else around him is going to play well, but Scott Wedgwood, he needs to establish himself early. And, of course, with the Knights are fast. They skate fast. They find ways to put the puck in the back of the net. They're really dominant with high danger goals. So, this is going to be a test for Wedgwood. Are you truly a goalie that you can count on to win a cup? And it starts tonight.
Well, I'll just say this. Any numbers that we're looking at and that we're drawing from for the first 2 rounds, you have to – I got to be careful here. You kind of have to put a bit of an asterisk. The Mammoth and the Ducks, that is not murderer's row. And Vegas, just in general, guys, and this is nuts to comprehend, because here we are in the Western Conference Finals. There were more nights this year where Vegas ended as losers than winners. They won 39 games. They were 39, 26, and 17.
They were in that pillow conference.
They were.
Pillow fight.
They were. And so, now you still got to go out and win, postseason series, and you give them credit for being here. But at the same time, that Pacific Division, you could win that division with 95 points. These are the other points that won divisions here in the NHL. Buffalo won the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. It took 109 points. There was 4 different teams in that conference with 100 points or more. And I just told you that Vegas won their division with 95 points. In the Metropolitan, the Hurricanes had 113 points to win that division. That's not even close to 95 points. And again, I'm not telling anyone that Vegas is a slouch and they're going to get swept.
Do you think this is fool's gold?
Well, it's got to be a part of the conversation at least. Think about it. The Washington Capitals had 95 points. They did not make the playoffs, but 95 points was good enough to win the Pacific Division. So again, it's just part of the story. Now, what would they have looked like if Carter Hart was in goal the entire season and John Tortorella was the coach instead of Bruce Cassidy? That deserves to be mentioned as well. But this is a bit unusual to see a team like Vegas with 39 wins on the season. Think about that. The Avs won 55 games. So as much respect as I want to put on Vegas and champions, and they deserve it. They deserve that respect.
All right.
12 different Stanley Cup champions. And I know Kale's not going.
Yep.
If the Avs play to their capability, man, we should be seeing this group in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, hands down, Z. No matter what, the Colorado Avalanche are getting past the Vegas Knights. They are going to get past them. Now, it all comes down to how long it's going to take to get past them.
Right.
I've been on the side of look, this is going to go Game 7. And Nate Dogg yesterday when he was at the press conference said they're preparing for a Game 7. Guys, he's not saying they're going to go to a Game 7, but mentally in their heads in that locker room, they're preparing for a dogfight. They're preparing to go a Game 7 so that if it does get to that point, it's not a shocker. They know that this could happen. But they also, like you said, they have so much firepower, the Colorado Avalanche that is, that they could finish this in 5 or 6. But with the Vegas Knights, they're catching fire. They got some players that are coming back. I know they're missing their captain Mark Stone, but also the goalie Hart. He's starting to catch fire as well. Against Anaheim, was doing his thing. So that matters. And if he finds a way, the goalie we're talking about Hart, to steal a game, that's when you could end up with a Game 7. So I just have a lot of respect for the Vegas Knights, just because I know that there's a lot of guys that have won a championship. 12 guys have won a championship on that roster that want to do it again.
Well, I want to mention this before we move on from the goaltenders, and this is likely you only hear this here on the drive, probably.
No doubt.
Hart has played in 6 overtime postseason games. He is 6-0.
Damn.
He has never given up a postseason overtime goal, and that's something to just watch. If one of these games get tight and go to overtime, for whatever reason, Carter Hart, in throughout his stops in the NHL, he has a save percentage of 1,000. He has stopped all 40 shots that have ever come his way in a postseason overtime. So put that in your pocket should that come up for the series. And I'm not saying that hey, we should be fearful, but
no, I mean, if we're in a Game 7 and we go to overtime, I'm going to be shaking a little bit. Shaking in my damn boots.
If we're going to Game 7 overtime, yeah, it's a full-blown, tremble. There's no doubt. The fourth thing that I think in terms of the 5 biggest themes to watch that will define the Western Conference Finals, it's Nathan MacKinnon versus Jack Eichel. And I know you spoke yesterday about Mitch Marner. Yeah. And Marner, no one's produced as much as Marner, and no one's produced as much as MacKinnon in this matchup. So it makes a lot of sense to talk about those guys. But the guys that will share the ice together as much as any 2 players will in this series, it's MacKinnon and Eichel. Eichel was the 2nd pick in the NHL draft right after Connor McDavid. He is a star in this league. They're 2 of the top probably 5 centers in the league, I think you could fairly say. They're both Stanley Cup champions. They're 2 of the top scorers in the postseason. Eichel tied for 2nd on his club with 15 points. All right, 1 goal, 14 assists. So very much a Marty Netchus setup so far this postseason. And in 12 games, and that's in 12 games, MacKinnon with 13 points, 7 goals, 6 assists in 9 postseason games. So this is a real head-to-head matchup that Nate spoke about yesterday.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the league, going to be extremely challenging. He's a two-way force out there, big, strong guy. It's going to be definitely a team effort, to take away time and space. But, he's going to create. He's just that good. Hopefully we can limit it.
Hope we can limit it. Considering that Cale Makar is not in the fold, if Jack Eichel outplays Nathan MacKinnon tonight without Makar, I would not like how I would feel.
But you know what? This is where the mentality thing comes in. And Nate Dogg just has a different mentality. I think he's up for this, where it's like, hey, I know my right-hand man, Cale, is not coming. This is on me. Of course you got Marty Netchus, and he needs to do his part. But for Nate Dogg, it's like, this is my time to show the world why I'm the greatest player to play this game. And I'm going to go out there versus another really, really good player, but he's not me. He's not Nate Dogg. And if he has that mentality, which we know he does, all right, I won't be surprised to see Nate Dogg put a puck in the back of the net tonight, maybe even 2. I know as wishful thinking, it's the playoffs, but it's the mentality, and it's envisioning yourself knowing that you have to be the best version of yourself and that you're better than the guy that you're going up against.
Well, we'll see what we're in store for without Cale. But that is a really fun matchup to watch, especially for just neutral hockey fans, MacKinnon against Eichel. So that's for the 5 themes. We'll hit the 5th one here shortly. But before we do that, we saw a trend in the NFL reinforced this week. And it tells me it's only a matter of time for Denver, Colorado. And I'll explain my thoughts next.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250 gift card to fill up that cooler? Download the Denver Sports app now and enter today. We'll see you at the lake. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And I know there's at least 50 of you driving down the street right now listening to me that are thinking about popping that question here soon. And if that's the case, then we all know you need a diamond. So let me save you some time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or hey, finally just doing something special for yourself for once, because all of us deserves to be spoiled at least once in our life, this is where it's all going to begin for you at Williams Jewelers. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. Not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, but guys, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and of course the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and also in Inglewood and Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Done right kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Are you one of those people who dread going to the dentist? If so, have you tried sedation dentistry? Learn more about sedation dentistry at coloradosedation.com. Sit back, relax, and dream with the most experienced sedation dentist and staff at Clarkson Dental.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Stoke here for ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Are you in the market for a new air conditioner? Well, hold on. You need to think about a heat pump. My team at ROX are Colorado's heat pump experts and rebate specialists. Get up to $12,000 in energy rebates and credits. These savings are incredible, but they're only available for a limited time. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Dan Jacobs with the tale of two cousins. They were both in the same accident. One cousin said she didn't need a lawyer. And when the insurance company offered her $3,000 and said they would pay all of her medical bills, that cousin was very upset because she cashed that check. And when the medical bills kept coming in, the insurance company was long gone. The other cousin called 303-LAW-4040. She was offered $30,000. And when we said no way, the judge used scare tactics trying to get her to accept the lowball offer. That's where a lot of lawyers will try and get their clients to cave in, but not us. We said that's fine. We'll tell her story to a jury. Before we could even get up and walk out of the room, that case settled for $1.1 million. That cousin was very happy. The insurance companies work for their shareholders. At 303-LAW-4040, we work for you. You don't have to feel guilty about asking for what's fair. We hope you never need us, but accidents do happen, so go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303-LAW-4040.
Lowest rate for life. It's our trademarked and most innovative product in the entire mortgage industry. Lock in your savings today, and if rates fall in the future, even as little as 0.5%, we will redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee. Always have the best rate and maximize your savings. It's only at U.S. Mortgages, and our number says it all. 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
Your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This segment on The Fan is brought to you by Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, the Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
Let's come off the top rope with it! Alrighty. So I said, going into the previous break, I said we saw a trend in the NFL reinforced this week, and it tells me it's only a matter of time for Denver, Colorado. What the heck am I talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Z?
So the NFL officially announced Nashville to host the Super Bowl in 2030 and Minnesota to host the 2028 draft. All right. What did they do in Nashville recently? They built a new stadium.
Still being built right now.
Yep. And the NFL is rewarding them. They're rewarding them the same way that they rewarded Minnesota, the same way that they rewarded New York when they built MetLife. This has been a trend here that is now just firmly established. And for me, it just makes it only a matter of time before it is announced in, I don't know, call it 3-4 years, that Denver will host the Super Bowl in 2032, 2033. I think it'll be one of those years on the timeline of it's going to take about 5 to 6 years to build the stadium. And if you're going to start here this time next year somehow is 2027. That gets you 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. It'll be one of those Super Bowls, 2032 or 2033, and the announcement in the future, it'll be probably in 3 or 4 years they'll announce it,
and
something
that's,
like that.
And that's why, Greg Penner and everybody that's involved, they're not just doing a stadium, they're doing a district, because they're going to need the restaurants and everything else for everybody, because it's not just Denver people that are going to be here.
Right.
Because if we're not in it, it's people coming outside of here, flying into Colorado and want to see more. So it's great for Colorado because it's going to bring money and it's going to bring attention. It sucks for me because I don't want nobody else here in Colorado seeing how beautiful it is, these mountains.
Throw the secrets out.
No,
like a
not
decade
yet.
ago.
There's a couple people that haven't been here yet. He said about a decade ago.
Well, honestly, Nashville, Dante and I were having this conversation off the air yesterday. Nashville, a lot like Denver, here in the last 20 years, became like really, really cool. Like a place that you really wanted to be. Nashville's always had its niche of fans, but it feels like Nashville in the last 15 years has exploded in popularity. And it's become like this, almost like how we look at Vegas as like a party town. It's like kind of like that, not on the level of Vegas, but it's got like that, the music scene, the partying scene, the bachelor and bachelorette parties, just up and down every street there. I'd put them in the same sort of category in the last like 20 to 25 years, the ascension of like an American city.
I want to say Morgan Wallen, that Nashville is where he threw the stool outside the window.
That was Nashville.
Yeah, so I mean it's more of a party town for young adults, and then of course country singers all go there to get big. So I liked Nashville when I went. I thought it was fun. It was clean.
I've never
expensive. expensive as hell.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, Z. And my sister's in Tennessee with Memphis, Tennessee. So she goes to Nashville all the time. Don't go to Memphis, though. That's different. That's a different story.
That is a different story.
It's not Nashville.
No.
But, here soon, the Denver Broncos are going to be hosting the Super Bowl, and we're all going to be able to be a part of that.
All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
All right, tonight we get the sequel to one of the best NBA playoff games in the last decade. The Thunder look to even the series at home. It feels kind of like a must-win, even though we're just one game into the series, given how the complexion of the game actually looked and felt like. Spurs could put this series in a vice grip at 2-0 going back to San Antonio for Game 3. Do you see it that way? Do you see tonight as a must-win for OKC?
Definitely, it's a must-win. When you have a bunch of young players like the Spurs, and I know OKC's young too, but the young players like the Spurs that are on top of the world, and you have Wemby that's feeling like he truly is the greatest player to play the game, don't let him go up on you 2-0. And I don't believe that the Thunder are going to let that happen. I think SGA finds his rhythm, finds a way to work around Wemby, and I think just the presence of being there, the veteran presence of winning it before is going to show tonight, and the Thunder end up beating the Spurs.
I think the Thunder will beat the Spurs tonight as well. I keep on going back and forth in my head how the series will finish. I think it's going 7 games. I think it's got 7 games written all over it, and at that point, does the historical rules come into play of like the team that has done it before, they take care of the team that has never done it. Spurs haven't come close to doing it. This is their first postseason. I'm still wrapping my head around what we saw in game number 1. Like Dylan Harper,
first postseason game.
Like he had 7 steals. The 20-year-old rookie had 7 steals, 1 turnover in nearly 50 minutes of action against the league's best defense. And I can't help but think of the Denver Nuggets. I can't help but thinking, like, if you went into a series against Victor Wembanyama, we've seen Jokic go toe-to-toe with Victor Wembanyama, all right? And to
Jokic won.
And Jokic,
toe-to-toe, he had 40 points.
He did, and hit a game-winning shot over him. But what you need to do as a center against Wemby is you have to knock down threes. If you don't knock down threes and you don't pull him away from the basket, he is the greatest free safety in the history of NBA basketball. And so Jokic actually does and has that capability. But imagine going into a series against San Antonio with Jamal Murray and Christian Brown against Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle. I mean, that is a long evening.
Yeah, I can't imagine it. I'm not going to imagine it. You can't force me to imagine it. All I can see is Christian Brown driving to the rim and then just taking a U-turn. Seeing Wemby and taking that U-turn. Like, no, I'm good.
Well,
it's going to be hard, man.
And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, he has the number of blocks he has, but the number of shots that are altered is different than a block. And then separate from those two things is you have the number of shots that are never even considered because of the gravitational, like we've never seen anything like it. We've never seen anything close to it. Someone who's built like George Mirashon or Bol that can move like Wemby, that can pull up from 35 feet. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts, but I do think Oklahoma City rallies tonight. The play that I'm on, San Antonio team under points.
Okay.
When Oklahoma City is stressed, the level of defense goes up 3 times. I think they'll have some adjustments, and so that's how I'm operating tonight. But do you? Next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
Aaron Rodgers says this will be his final NFL season.
Finally.
How would you summarize Aaron Rodgers' career?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been a superstar for a very long time. He's not in the conversations of the Patrick Mahomes and stuff because of the championships. But I mean, what more can that man have done other than win some championships? I know he's statistically he's done everything.
Yes, yeah, the stats are all there. The MVPs are all there.
I mean, I guess are you gonna look at him like? Would you look at Jokic if Jokic doesn't win another championship like Aaron Rodgers?
If Jokic ends up with 1 championship, it's a failure.
It's a failure?
Yeah, if he a player of his caliber, it's a failure. Now that doesn't mean the failure is completely on his plate.
Yeah.
Because it'd be more of an organizational failure over a 10-year period.
So with Aaron Rodgers, is his career a failure when it comes to winning? I guess I don't know. Like
I'll say this, considering his talent, because you could make an argument he is the single most talented quarterback in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
To only end up with one championship, I'm not going to call a Hall of Fame career a failure. I'm just not going to do that. But you can make the argument that Aaron Rodgers is one of the more underachieving quarterbacks ever.
I can get with that. I can get down with that.
A lot of playoff games at home, like
underachieve. Okay, all right. Him and Josh Allen.
hey, you could make the argument.
Lamar too.
No doubt. No doubt.
Why you have to chime in on that one?
All right, one of these things in Denver sports is not like the other when it comes to an elite portfolio. And we'll explain coming up next.
Parents, looking for a fun way to get your kid active this summer? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan's third annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp is back. Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School's All-City Stadium. Your child, ages 8 to 14, will learn the fundamentals of football in a safe, hands-on environment for people who play the game at the highest level. We're talking former Denver Broncos Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, and Brandon Stokely, along with a trusted coaching staff from Denver South. And every dollar raised goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado, so your family is giving back just by showing up. Sign up today at DenverSports.com/camp. That's DenverSports.com/camp. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors, your siding, windows, decking, and roofing specialist. During the month of May, 5280 Exteriors are offering you $1,000 off a new project. They also offer finance plans that come with no payments for 2 years. 5280 Exteriors is a locally owned company that has been in business for 20 years and knows the Colorado climate. They are a 2024 and 2025 James Hardy President's Club winner. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're over 50, there's a good chance you're dealing with an enlarged prostate. Waking up at night, weak stream, all of it. Here's the good news. PAE, prostate artery embolization, is minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatment with near zero impact on sexual function. Lakewood location, personalized care. Visit coloradoae.com.
When it's sports, you love watching the pros.
If it's surgery, you definitely want the pros.
When you need a new roof, call Denver Roof Pros.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
Brandon Stokely here from my friends at Roller Auction. Do you have items you're looking to sell? Since 1976, Roller Auction has been conducting commercial and industrial auctions for Colorado government agencies, Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, secured creditors, individuals, and more. They have a large marketplace to showcase your assets, so don't wait. Visit rollerauction.com for a free consultation and turn those items into some cold, hard cash. Again, go visit them at rollerauction.com. That's rollerauction.com.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O-Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
People are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of folks don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But if you're a homeowner, there is a way out. American Financing is helping people just like you every day. Real families who are tired of juggling bills and feeling judged by big banks where you're just a number. Their salary-based mortgage consultants will help you look at your whole financial picture, not just credit card debt. And with a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, the average customer is saving $800 a month. Imagine decluttering your monthly bills into one manageable payment and freeing up cash flow for the things that actually matter. Guys, there's no upfront fees and there's no obligation. Make your equity your exit strategy and stop financing your past so you can start funding your future. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
June hits different at Coors Field. Don't miss the Chicago Cubs and Boston Red Sox coming to town for 2 great series. Baseball at altitude, summer nights, big moments. We're here for the climb. Get tickets now at Rockies.com/tickets.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
One of these things in Denver sports is not like the other when it comes to an elite portfolio. I'll explain my thoughts here in just a second. But first, guys, it's springtime. That means it's time for our 3rd annual Brouhaha Tour. First stop is this Friday. Guys, we're only doing 3 of these total. All right? So we would love to see you this Friday, May 22nd, from 2 to 6 p.m. for our first stop at Schoolyard Beer Garden in Denver's Golden Triangle. All right, Schoolyard Beer Garden in Denver's Golden Triangle. If you've never been to this spot, it is literally one of the most unique places in all of Denver, and we would love to see you. It's last time I checked, it's supposed to be a beautiful day on Friday. It's been kind of janky here the last couple days, cold, wet, even though we do need that moisture. Yeah, Friday, 63 and sunny. Be a beautiful afternoon to come hang out with the drive. So
I had to check, make sure that you're telling the truth. Yeah, it's 64 on mine. So I'm gonna go with mine.
Okay, 64. That's 1 degree warmer.
Oh, that's warmer. It's warmer than you need it to be, man. You need it to be a little bit warmer. I don't like 63. I like 64.
Weekend is supposed to be even nicer. So we'd love to see you on Friday. Okay, one of these things in Denver sports is not like the other. What am I talking about here? You look at who's favored to win the Super Bowl. Do you remember?
The Rams.
The Rams.
The Rammies.
The Rams. They've won one here in recent memory, and they're favored to do it again. The Avalanche are favored to win the Cup. Arsenal Football Club just won the Premier League.
They did.
See that?
Yesterday.
They did. And then you have the Denver Nuggets.
Then there's the Nuggets.
In that same KSE portfolio, which is now worth approximately $23 billion for the sports teams that they own. Yeah.
$23 billion.
Yes, between the Avs, Arsenal, the Nuggets, the Rams. Yeah, if you add it all up, it's right around $23 billion. And they're all thriving right now. And one of them is, it feels like they're in a bit of a free fall right now. And what's really interesting to me, and I have to mention this, and I'm not saying that this is at the nucleus of the problem. I'm not saying that, but it deserves to get mentioned, is that in the rest of these teams, the Cronkies are hands off. There's only one team that Josh Kroenke runs.
Let me guess. The Denver Nuggets.
The Nuggets. I don't know how much to look into that, but I don't think it's nothing.
Well, it's definitely nothing. Not nothing, Z, because when you are hands-on, or supposedly you're hands-on, but you're not necessarily there, because we know Josh Kroenke, he's not just dealing with the Colorado Avalanche and the Denver Nuggets. Like, he's out of the country dealing with his soccer team that just won.
Correct.
So if he's dealing with that and he's going across country, it's not like he's always in the building with the Denver Nuggets or the Colorado Avalanche, but let's just say the Denver Nuggets. So how could you sit here and be more hands-on, or for Josh, like, this is his baby, correct? Like, basketball is what he is doing.
He's the president.
Yeah, and you're not there a lot because you're dealing with other stuff, which understandably, like, you have to because there's so much going on, but you're supposedly hands-on with the Nuggets.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Really, when you exhaust the conversation, it doesn't make the most sense. It doesn't make as much sense as it could or it should. And one of the things that bothered me that Josh Kroenke said in that season-ending press conference was that he was the cultural setter. He was a CEO of culture. And in the same answer, within the same answer that he said that, he talked about having to manage it on a day-to-day basis, and that he has listened to the brightest minds in and out of sports, and culture has to be managed day to day, and called it even a living, breathing organism, the culture of the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And that is so crazy to me that he said, I'm the cultural CEO. It needs to be managed every day. It's a living, breathing organism, but you're not around like that.
No.
Not close to that. And so the fact that we heard all that in one response, there was a lack of awareness in that moment that was striking for me.
Well, and Z, and now I go back to, okay, if that is the case, then you understand what's going on and what needs to happen to help Jokic out. If I'm Jokic, I'm listening to that, and I'm like, well, dude, I don't ever see you in the building, and when I do, it's not all the time. You talk about helping culture, but you're never here. Like, I need you to be here to help me out. If I'm Jokic, I'm looking at it like, dude, like, I want to win now. How serious are you?
Right.
Because you keep going back to other things when we're losing right now. We just got knocked out of the first round. So for someone like Josh Kroenke, who's supposedly hands-on, he should be all in. This is his baby. It's slipping away. So I'm expecting him to be there next year, Z.
Well, if you're expecting Josh to be around next year,
yes,
I would say don't hold your breath, because the Denver Nuggets just had a situation last year where the coach and the general manager were at war with one another, and Josh Kroenke admitted that he let it get to that point because he wasn't around as much as he should. And then the next season was this season. And he's not around on a day-to-day basis. And by the way, I'm not saying he should be around on a day-to-day basis. You just need to pick a different president. You can't be the president and the cultural CEO if you're not around. You have a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to tell you to not have a lot of stuff going on.
So are you saying, do you think that he should step aside and kind of like say, I'm going to be hands-off with even the Denver Nuggets now, like he has with the other stuff?
Dude, these other team presidents, they're on the road with the team.
Yes.
They're there every single day. Like, so that's just part of the job. And so that's not the case here. Clearly, the culture has regressed and eroded to a point that it's almost unrecognizable. You just went through it a year ago and admitted that you weren't around like that. So, like, you have to pick a lane. Either be all in as the president of the Denver Nuggets and manage that culture on a day-to-day basis as the cultural CEO.
But you said don't hold my breath.
No. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, should that happen if you're the president? Yes. But it's probably not going to happen, right? So you need to empower someone as the president of the Denver Nuggets to manage that.
Though, Z, that means you have to hire somebody and pay them. Josh, the Kroenkes, they don't want to pay anybody. They don't want to pay people to do their job.
Off the court.
Yeah. So he would be doing something that he usually doesn't do. That's something
Correct.
You're hoping. He's not going to do that either. So he's not going to be there, and he's not going to pay anybody.
But this is how you get to this point, right? Like, everything else in KSC's portfolio is thriving to an incredible degree. But there's one that is completely unlike the other, and it's the one that he's in charge of most. But you're not around. So it's like I don't know, man. If you just exhaust this conversation in the way that we're doing, you can see how it's unhealthy. That's all. But I wanted to talk about that after Arsenal won yesterday because it's striking. The Rams, the Avs, Arsenal, and then there's the Nuggets and where they're currently at. And it's just unfortunate. Okay, we got news this morning that we were dreading, and we'll get to it next.
Avalanche, Golden Knights. It's the Western Conference Final, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is all in. 1 hour before puck drop, we're live with full pregame coverage, keys to the game, bold predictions, and the intel you need. When the final horn sounds, we're not going anywhere. Instant post-game reaction. Every hit, every goal, every save. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
She walked miles with her granddaughters every day at Disney with zero knee pain, but she couldn't have done that months ago. This all started with a visit to QC Kinetics.
We have spent the last 4 days going from park to park, walking all day long, no pain. I feel fantastic.
Here's what baffles people when they hear Kathy's story.
The doctor said, you need 2 full knee replacements. And I said, that's not going to happen. I went to QC Kinetics, started treatment that day. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free.
It's the kind of story that QC Kinetics hears from patients all the time.
I cannot thank QC Kinetics enough for giving me my life back. I'm active again and loving it. I'm well over a year out. I've had absolutely no pain in either knee.
Before you agree to surgery, listen to this. Think about it.
Tomorrow is Animal Kingdom, so yeah, gotta go.
Kathy's glad she took them up on the free consultation. We have one set aside for you.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Stop waiting for rates and take advantage of real buying opportunities. Lowest Rate for Life helps you get the deal you want on the home today, and if rates fall in the future, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fees. U.S. Mortgages 303 low rate.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
8 seconds. Man versus beast. Every second counts. The PRCA's Extreme Bulls Tour explodes into the legendary arena for 2 nights only. July 20th and 21st. Tickets on sale now at CFDrodeo.com.
At AutoNation, there's no pressure, no surprises, just the keys. Now through Memorial Day, get 0% financing on your favorite new vehicles. You'll save thousands of dollars in interest alone. Drive the car you want today with 0% financing. Don't wait. Memorial Day savings end May 25th. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation dealership. Less stress, more go. Visit AutoNation.com for eligible vehicles. 0 APR for a limited term with approved credit. Cannot be combined with other offers.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
As fast as he can.
And the moon is gone up. And somebody left with the
cup.
Still so good. Song's like 30 years old. Maybe 25. Well, we got the news this morning that we were it's not even fair to say, at least for me, speaking for myself, like I wasn't even dreading the news because I put it out of mind. I just thought Cale Makar was going to go tonight. And Jared Bednar said yesterday he wasn't concerned yet. Now, was that gamesmanship, posturing? Potentially. But when we got the news, Cale's not going to play. Look, we knew the injury was serious. If you leave this is not basketball or soccer. Like, you leave a playoff game as a hockey player, it's a big deal. And Cale's never missed a postseason game because of injury. He missed one because he was suspended for a game for a boarding call in 2023 against Seattle. So this is the first of its kind tonight. And, man, we knew it was serious, but saw that news and said, damn.
Yeah, I mean, but also, too, it's like Cale didn't practice this whole week, right? You had a time to be off to yourself, so you were expecting Cale to come back at some point, and he never came back. And then today, he had to skate around to try out his body, whatever he's dealing with, whether it's the upper or lower body, and it was a no-go. And maybe that's why Betsy said he's not concerned yet. That maybe he did get word that, hey, there's a big possibility that this man does not play. We're talking about Cale Makar. But also, if he feels good tomorrow, which is today, then he has the green light to go if he's ready to go. And then you go out there, you test out whatever's wrong with Cale. It doesn't look good, and now he's not playing for us tonight. It sucks.
Well, it's crazy because, and I didn't hear this till today, apparently Sam Malinsky at his locker yesterday talking to a couple reporters kind of let it slip that Cale wasn't going to play. And no one really, blew it up.
Yeah.
But apparently Sam Malinsky made some, offhanded comment about, we're going to have to play without Cale. And so I really can't make heads and tails of what the vibe was yesterday, but we now know today he is definitely not playing. Drew, you have the quote there behind the glass?
I do, yeah. So Sam was asked what he would say to fans worried about missing Cale Makar for Game 1. And Malinsky responded, I don't know what to tell them. Obviously, it would be great to have him out here. You can't replace him, and we're going to miss him out there. Yeah, hopefully we can still get it done without him.
Wow. I mean,
so he let it slip.
He said it, yeah.
Yeah, he just basically said it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the captain of this ship now. All right, I'm on the first pairing. Let's go.
Man, well, this is a big deal, right? And you can't suppress it and act like it's not, and then simultaneously tell me that Cale Makar is one of the 5 best hockey players in the world. Like, that's what you're missing tonight. It's a huge deal.
Well, with that being said, then Z, shouldn't we all have the same X factor? Should the X factor when it comes to you and I is a guy that doesn't necessarily make an impact every single night, but you know that you're going to need him, right? He's that role player. Wouldn't the X factor have to be Sam Malinsky in this game tonight? Him coming off knowing that he's been averaging about 20 minutes on the ice, and now he's going to be on the first line with Taser, and now he's going to have to play a bigger role knowing Cale's not going to be there tonight. Would he be the X factor?
It's fair. I mean, if you want to make him your X factor for tonight, or
I
even
definitely want to.
Okay, yeah, that is your X factor. That's well within bounds. I would say for my X factor, it's Val. I would say it's Val Nichushkin. He has not been the best version of himself. Not in this postseason, not in the regular season. We have not seen elite Val in a while. But it's scary to think if that version of Val, who was arguably the Conn Smythe winner, Nathan MacKinnon once upon a time said in the 2022 run, Val was their best player. If you can get like 85% of who he was, like, do we realize, I'm going to give you a stat here because you're only going to hear it here on the drive, Phil. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
So
we have everything for you guys.
So listen, MacKinnon enters game 1 tonight looking to become the 9th player in the expansion era, which goes back to, when John Kennedy was in office, okay? So since the late 60s, that's when the expansion era started, MacKinnon is looking to become the 9th player since 1968 with a 7-game playoff streak, a scoring streak. He scored a goal 6 straight games. You know who the last player to do it was? Who was the 8th player ever to do it since 1968?
Who?
Val Nichushkin scored in 7 consecutive postseason games in the 2024 postseason. Like, that's what he looks like when he is at his best. This man has 3 points in 9 playoff games. Like, that is nutty. That is nutty that the Avs are 8-1 and Nichushkin has been mostly a non-factor.
Well, it shows you how deep the Avs are, for one, and number two, I love that you said that Val's your X factor because you may be in luck tonight. Val may open up and get a goal on the score sheet because of what line he's playing on. Usually he's on the second line. Now he's on the third with Kadri. All right, so that's good for bets. He's saying let's kind of shake things up a little bit. Put Val on the third line with Kadri and Ross Colton. Give him that flexibility and the ability to be more offensive minded because I think we all have to understand that both Brock Nelson and Val Nichushkin on that second line in these first 2 playoff series have been more defensive minded in helping out defensively, knowing that you have Netchus and you have Nate Dogg and even Gabe at times doing some of the scoring. And so now that you break Brock Nelson up and Val up, I think you're going to see a lot more aggressiveness from Val to try to shoot, put shots on goal, and maybe he gets one tonight because of that.
Well, that would be great. I mean, that would be absolutely great. And I'm seeing on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. You can also hit us up on our YouTube chat, presented by Shop Honda, saying, hey, Val's been good, just not offensively. I mostly agree with that. 0107, put your name on it, give you a shout out. I mostly agree with that. But you did not sign Valeri Nichushkin to an 8-year, $49 million contract for him to be, gritty defensively. You want that in addition to the production. And so he has got to step it up. And the other guy that needs to step it up is, my God,
Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson, excuse me.
Brock
Nelson. All right. Sorry, I was having a brain fart there. But Brock Nelson also has 3 points. And I'm pretty sure, and you guys help me out because I'm putting everybody on the spot real quick. Was Nichushkin's goal an empty net goal? I think it was. And, Brock Nelson's goal is an empty net goal that was from almost 200 feet away.
Yeah.
So they have 3 points and 2 goals between them, but both. And look, those count too. But
good memories, eh?
Yeah, like that. You need more from.
All right.
And Val Nichushkin. And it should start tonight in the absence of Cale Makar. All right, shifting gears here. What is Nathan MacKinnon saying about going head-to-head with another top 5 center in the world? You'll hear from Nate and the captain, Gabe Landeskog, next.
You asked for it, you got it. Backed by popular demand, it's the Drives Brouhaha.
Big social brouhaha.
This spring, Zach and Phil are back on the road bringing their party to you. First stop, the Golden Triangle in Denver. May 22nd from 2 to 6 at Schoolyard Beer Garden.
There was quite a brouhaha.
Come find out what the commotion's all about. Head to DenverSports.com/drive for more details.
Guaranteed to bring the brouhaha.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Here's something most window companies won't tell you. The window is only part of it. In Colorado, a well-built window can still fail if the installation isn't right. That's the part that determines what actually lasts. I trust Gravina's Window Center of Littleton because that's where the conversation starts. 50-plus years serving Denver, Colorado, and the Front Range. Right now, 25% off Infinity by Marvin Windows. Check them out at windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Who helps keep Colorado's wildlife wild? Our people do.
Hello, my name is Patricia. I've been with Chevron for over 17 years.
Her team uses GPS to track where mule deer and pronghorn roam throughout the seasons. This data helps us take their habitats into consideration when planning our operations.
When we created our comprehensive wildlife and conservation program, it was really about what was possible.
Learn more at colorado.chevron.com.
Your roof's the single most important part of your house. Snow and high winds can damage your roof. Don't trust your roof to any fly-by-night roofing companies. Call the professionals at Golden Spike for a free roof inspection and tell them you heard about it on The Fan. They're a locally owned company and a Team Dave Logan member.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And if you need serious car repairs but don't want the hassle of a shop, All Points Automotive is 100% mobile. From engine rebuilds to transmission replacements and all the mechanical work you need, they come to you guys. To book your appointment, visit All allpoints-automotive.com.
Are you an HVAC or mechanical contractor looking for qualified manpower you can rely on? Smart Local 9 sheet metal workers provide highly trained professionals ready to get the job done safely, efficiently, and with pride. Their workforce is trained through a 4-year apprenticeship program focused on HVAC systems, service, welding, drafting, safety, and emerging technologies. Need manpower for a large project or flexibility as workloads change? Smart Local 9 helps you stay competitive with access to a skilled, dependable workforce. Learn more at smw9.com.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're a guy over 50 dealing with an enlarged prostate, you need to know about PAE, prostate artery embolization. It's minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're back home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatments with near zero impact on sexual function. Top-tier radiologists, boutique setting, personalized care in Lakewood. Go to coloradoae.com.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
If you're considering sedation dentistry and want to learn more about it, Clarkson Dental can help. When it comes to your health, you want to make sure you know all the details. The highly trained professionals at Clarkson Dental have your answers. Learn more at coloradosedation.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Trade Gen Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors.
One real Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Fan Youth Football Camp Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School All-City Stadium. Children aged 8 to 14 will enjoy hands-on coaching from former Broncos like Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, Brandon Stokely, as well as a staff of coaches from Denver South. Every dollar of this benefits Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Colorado. For more information and to register your child, head to DenverSports.com/camp. All right, moving on here and shifting gears, Nathan McKinnon asked about going head-to-head with Jack Eichel.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the league, going to be extremely challenging. He's a two-way force out there, big, strong guy. It's going to be definitely a team effort, to take away time and space, but he's going to create. He's just that good. Hopefully we can limit it.
For my money, Phil, this is the number one matchup to watch. Two top centers who are going to be on the ice so often against one another. Both Stanley Cup champions. Two of the top scorers in these postseason. Eichel tied for second in all of the NHL postseason with 15 points. He's got 1 goal and 14 assists, so very similar to the setup that we've seen from Marty Netches so far, and he's done that in 12 games. McKinnon is tied for 8th in the NHL postseason with 13 points, coming off a more balanced 7 goals and 6 assists in just 9 games. This is, man, like, get your popcorn. like two of
Heavyweight
the
fight.
5 best centers in the league.
Yeah, and for Nate Dogg, he has to think in his head, and I know he does, and this is why he's saying Eichel's one of the best two-way players as well. All right, Nate Dogg knows it's not just about scoring. Nate Dogg's going to have to play some defense, especially when you know Kale's not going to be available. So it's not going to be about just Nate Dogg going down there, scoring the goals, making the assists. He's going to have to get back and play more aggressively when it comes defensively, and maybe even be more defensive-minded, knowing that you're going against another top center in the league.
Here's a little bit more from Nate Dogg, and I'm actually interested in this next one. His chemistry with Netches. All right, and there had been some speculation. I remember at the end of last season, it was like, well, McKinnon is too intense for Netches. Do you remember those conversations?
Yeah, I remember.
And McKinnon is maniacal.
He
is little screw loose.
Well, what did Nathan McKinnon say to Netches when you were at the game?
So I didn't hear what he was saying, but we were sitting on the glass. A incredibly generous listener. 3 years in a row has picked one game and for me and my son, and I was down there, and we're right next to the Avs bench. So there's just a plate of glass separating me from, on that day it was Blackwood, and who sits all the way to the left.
So you pulled a Russell Wilson. You put a plexiglass in between you and Blackwood. I got you. You're big time. We get it.
And so Marty and Nate come off the ice, and Nate was so mad, and the score was 4-0. It was the Calgary game.
I remember, they dominated.
When we were chanting, "We want 10," as they sat on 9 goals and won, I think, 9-2 that evening. But the score was 4-0. It was a laugher, and McKinnon comes off the ice and was screaming at Marty Netches, and Netches came off the ice right after him, and McKinnon smacked Netches' stick like as hard as he could, and Marty just stared straight ahead and took it. So I'm not saying McKinnon's the easiest guy to play next to on a night-by-night basis, but he was asked about the chemistry between he and Marty, and this is how Nate answered.
Yeah, I think being friends off the ice helps. We get along really well. I think we play a similar style, which can be good, or maybe could interfere with each other, but I think we think similarly, so we figured it out. Obviously, Lucky or Gabe on the left side, lots of communication, but talk a lot off the ice. We have fun on the ice, so it's been good. But we got to keep it going.
So friends off the ice.
Yeah.
Quote, we figured it out.
That's big right there. I think that word right there, figure it out, because it takes time, right? You have Netches that's coming into a new team with different information, with a different mindset, and you have Nate Dogg that's like the man. And so it's like, hey, I'm the one scoring the goals, but Netches also, his superpower is scoring goals.
Right.
So it takes time to build that chemistry. And on top of that, if we all remember, they made a switch there for the power play. When the power play got stale, we had Netches that was in the top left circle, and that was working, and you had Nate Dogg behind in the corner, in the left corner, and we were like, okay, how is that going to be, and how is Nate Dogg going to react to that, knowing that that's his circle, and they've been able to figure things out, and it's helped the team out, and it's helped both of them out.
No, it's been huge. It's been absolutely huge. Here's one more. Gabe Landeskog, when asked if he appreciates where the team is at right now. You're in the conference finals for the second time in 24 years. This is what the captain said.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a step. It's a part of the process. It's not easy to win a round, period, in this league, and not easy making the playoffs, not easy winning a round, and let alone two. But we got bigger goals and dreams in this.
So kind of keeping that perspective of like, yeah, we're here. It's hard. It's hard to win all round. You remember Game 1 and Game 2 against the Kings? It was the same score, 2-1, 2-1. Game 3, 4-2. With I believe an empty netter to put some dressing on that.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, we're trying to win this whole thing, and we're not satisfied, and trying to sort of find that balance. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for tonight. I'm going to be in the building. You're going to be in the building.
Yes, sir.
Cannot wait. All right, shifting gears here a little bit. Garrett Bowles gave his thoughts on new offensive coordinator Davis Webb, and it's an interesting answer. I'm just not sure it's going to hit someone's ears the way he intended it to, and we'll listen to it and react next.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250 gift card to fill up that cooler? Download the Denver Sports app now and enter today. We'll see you at the lake. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Hey, Stoke here for ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Summer is coming in hot. Don't wait. Beat the rush with an early bird cooling system tune-up and inspection for only $49 from Rocks Heating and Air. They'll inspect your system and keep you cool when everyone else is scrambling. Call ROX Rocks Heating and Air today and schedule your tune-up before the end of May. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry buys, sells, and services pre-owned Rolex, Cartier, and all luxury Swiss watches. So if you're looking to make a change in your watch collection or just looking to sell, come to Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry.
Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry, located in the Highlands Ranch Town Center or online at MatthewsFineWatches.com.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at ColoradoRLE.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. ColoradoRLE.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I've got to tell you about Champ Honda. If you're looking for an SUV that can handle Colorado, check out the new 2026 Honda CR-V. It's comfortable, capable, and perfect for everything from your daily drive to weekend getaways. Right now, Champ Honda has the largest inventory since before COVID, so you've got more options than ever. And I love this. Champ Honda does things differently. Their one price, one person, 1 hour philosophy means a fair price up front and way less time at the dealership. They never charge dealer handling fees.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. General contractors, are you tired of working with 8 different subs for a single project? Homestrong is the answer. Their crews handle excavation, foundations, waterproofing, crawl spaces, and flat work. Visit buildhomestrong.com. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, as we roll along here on a hump day, just a few hours before puck drop, Ball Arena, Game 1, Western Conference Finals.
Can't make it up.
Man, we've been talking about it throughout the afternoon. It's taking a lot of our oxygen, and rightfully so. Cannot wait. We're going to get off the air here and try to fly down there as quick as possible and get into the building. Place is going to be electric, and we'll be back here at 2 o'clock to give you that firsthand account what it was like. But hitting the pause button on the Avs here for just a couple seconds. Garrett Bowles, your former teammate, the legend, Garrett Bowles, talking to Kay Adams, all right? And Kay, she bats her eyes at you, and you just start talking.
And yeah, you just talk and talk and talk and just give up everything. Give up your social security number and everything, Z, when you start talking to Kay Adams.
And we love our guy, Bowlesy.
I came from the mud.
Yes,
the
you
grass
did.
is green and the cows are chirping.
So he sat down with OK. He sat down with Kay, and he was asked about Davis Webb.
Yeah.
And how just smart and brilliant Davis is, and this is what Bowles said.
No, for sure. I'm glad you said that. It is damn he's good. I mean, that's really what it is. It's he's so young, obviously away from football. I mean, he just retired not too long ago, right? And to be able to have a coach that understands the game, but not like the old school game. I'm talking about this newest game that we played. Obviously, I was in the league when he was in the league, and now he can take what he's learned, through so many different coaches and so many different offenses and find out what's best for him. And he's so smart with the X's and O's. Obviously, he went to Texas Tech, then went to Cal, 2 prestige colleges, and knowing that, who he is as a person, like I love him to death. He's such a good person. And, to have a younger guy like that on the coaching staff that understands how we feel and our emotions and our ups and downs, he can control all that and put us in the best situations. And he's not afraid to drop everything on the line and let it rip. And that's what we need. We want that confidence, and we want that love, and we have that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. I'm excited to get on the field in the next couple of days and get ready to rock and roll, and then get off for the summer and then hit training camp where we left off from last year.
All right, he covered a lot of ground there. Yeah. All right, we don't hear Garrett Bowles give answers for a minute and 22 seconds typically, but it's K.
Well, I need to ask GB, does he really believe that Texas Tech is prestigious?
well, he said it was Texas Tech and what else he said? He said they're prestige. It's like close to the right word. Closer. You're looking for prestigious. But we love Bowlesy. We show him that grace.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Just like you show me grace,
That's right. That's right. There's a curve here.
Here we go.
But so he said a handful of things there. But the one thing that, when I say I'm not sure it'll hit someone's ears the right way, I'm talking about Sean Payton. When he says, he knows football. Not the old football. Like the new.
The new.
Like he was in the league when I was in the league. Like he's up to speed. And then he went on to say, he's so young, like he knows us. He knows how we tick and our emotions and stuff like that.
Players coach. He's played the game. He's new. He just retired. Like he should understand how players are feeling, what they want to see as a play caller, as an offense, as a quarterback, because that's what Davis Webb was. He was a quarterback.
I'm just like, if you're Sean Payton and your left tackle's like, he knows that new. Not that old stuff.
The new.
He's on that new. And he gets me. He gets my emotions. And I'm sure, like, if Sean heard that, and who knows if he even did.
Come on. It's Kay Adams. Sean's tuning in.
Good point. He's got the notifications turned on.
Yes. Oh, Kay's on. Let me go ahead and
but
tune in.
It's one of these things like, oh, really? Like I'm the past. I represent the past, despite taking over a team that won 5 games, and this past year, in year 3, we're 14-3 and hosting an AFC Championship game. But this guy who's never done the job before, he's got it all figured out. Not me. I don't know. I just like.
I mean, Sean seems like he could be a sensitive guy. He listens to everything. He's looking at everything online, so he's gonna watch this interview with Bowlesy and Kay Adams, and maybe he has some words, and he's going to talk to Garrett Bowles about like what does he mean by that. But also, Garrett Bowles is only speaking for the players in that locker room. GB is only speaking for Bo Nix and let's just say McGlinchey. Anybody that's in the locker room, everybody talks. And what Garrett Bowles is telling us is the locker room is excited that Davis Webb is now calling plays. And then when GB goes on to say that Davis Webb is not going to be afraid to let it rip, what is he saying? What it's saying to me, and what I think GB is trying to tell all of us is, you're going to have Davis Webb be very aggressive throwing the ball downfield, right? You're not going to have the screen game where you're throwing the ball to Marvin Mims sideways or Pat Bryant sideways. Like, no, they're going to open it up, spread the field out, and let it rip. Let the speed be shown on the football field every single Sunday, right? Jalen Waddle, very fast. Marvin Mims, fast. You have Cortland Sutton that can come down with the 50-50 balls, but you have to give them the opportunities. Also, I think it's saying for Garrett Bowles is there's times throughout the season, and even in the AFC Championship game, where they wanted to be more aggressive. The players, that is, wanted to be more aggressive, and Sean wasn't aggressive. And now you have Bo probably upset. You have the receivers, you have the offensive line saying, why didn't we go for it? Or why didn't we throw downfield? Why are we doing screens when we have players that can open up the game? And now they're thinking they can get that with Davis Webb.
Yeah, that's I think a fair way to look at those comments. Now, full disclosure here, in a follow-up question, Bowles went on to say how much he loves Sean Payton.
Yeah.
But I think that statement within there is really how he is thinking, And in terms of letting it rip, no one threw the ball more than Bo Nix this past year. No one. But it's also, to your point, like, what does it actually look like when you're throwing it? Yes, the attempts are number one, but is the aggression there? Is the middle of the field, the down the field, like, that was not necessarily a game day staple, not quarter by quarter anyway. And I'm fascinated and so curious how this is actually going to look. Everyone who has intersected with Davis Webb says how much of a genius he is.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see. And I know we talked about it, but the baptism by fire. Baptism by fire, that phrase is invented for situations like Davis Webb doing the job for the very first time in the first 6 games of the year, which is the toughest stretch to start a season that I've ever seen. But There's a step before that, the preseason. That came into focus today. The entire schedule came into focus today. We'll talk about those preseason games, what it looks like, why I think it's really important, and also what are the 5 biggest themes that will define Avs and Knights in the Western Conference Finals. We'll get to all of that as we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk coming up next.
Parents, looking for a fun way to get your kid active this summer? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan's 3rd annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp is back. Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School's All-City Stadium. Your child, ages 8 to 14, will learn the fundamentals of football in a safe, hands-on environment from people who play the game at the highest level. We're talking former Denver Broncos Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, and Brandon Stokely, along with a trusted coaching staff from Denver South. And every dollar raised goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado, so your family is giving back just by showing up. Sign up today at denversports.com/camp. That's denversports.com/camp. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
If you're over 50 years old and carrying credit card debt, you could be paying on that for the rest of your life. Everything is more expensive, and you're spending more on the things you buy every day. But your home's equity could finally give you some breathing room. American Financing is a family-owned mortgage lender. No judgment, no pressure, just salary-based mortgage consultants who are here to help. With a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments, and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Their average customer saves $800 a month. That's a real relief. They'll help you declutter your bills into one manageable payment. Give your paycheck a raise by lowering your debt obligations and help you end the cycle of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Guys, there's no upfront fees and there's no obligation. Consolidate, collaborate, conquer. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Dan Jacobs with the tale of 2 cousins. They were both in the same accident. One cousin said she didn't need a lawyer. And when the insurance company offered her $3,000 and said they would pay all of her medical bills, that cousin was very upset because she cashed that check. And when the medical bills kept coming in, the insurance company was long gone. The other cousin called 303-LAW 4040. She was offered $30,000. And when we said no way, the judge used scare tactics trying to get her to accept the lowball offer. That's where a lot of lawyers will try and get their clients to cave in, but not us. We said that's fine. We'll tell her story to a jury. Before we could even get up and walk out of the room, that case settled for $1.1 million. That cousin was very happy. The insurance companies work for their shareholders. At 303-LAW 4040, we work for you. You don't have to feel guilty about asking for what's fair. We hope you never need us, but accidents do happen, so go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303-LAW 4040.
For over a decade, Bluebird Windows and Doors of Denver has been servicing the Front Range with products built to withstand Colorado's unpredictable weather. Bluebird's Sunrise Collection windows are built to last a lifetime and are backed by strong warranties. Right now, buy 3, get 1 free through May. Mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans. You'll save an additional 5%. Enjoy the outdoors through energy-efficient Bluebird windows. Visit GoBluebirdCO.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
At
AutoNation, there's no pressure, no surprises, just the keys. Now through Memorial Day, get 0% financing on your favorite new vehicles. You'll save thousands of dollars in interest alone. Drive the car you want today with 0% financing. Don't wait. Memorial Day savings end May 25th. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation dealership. Less stress, more go. Visit AutoNation.com for eligible vehicles. 0 APR for a limited term with approved credit. Cannot be combined with other offers.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Woodley's Fine Furniture, specializing in custom upholstery, solid wood, and the most comfortable leather furniture imaginable. You will not find better built furniture than at Woodley's. Visit Woodleys.com today.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, we'll get back into the abs here at the top of the hour. And we're going to check in with Will Peterson just a little bit later in this segment, who has boots on the ground in Ball Arena, where we are soon to be right after we sign off the air here.
Oh, Scrappy. I wonder if he's wearing that suit.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's wearing a suit. We are, by the way, we are going to have a post-game show here on the Fan soon as the horn sounds. So win or lose, we'll have Denver Sports tonight, all right? And then soon as the horn sounds, live Colorado Avalanche post-game show. You are not going to want to miss it. Okay, shifting gears, though. The preseason got announced today for the Denver Broncos, all right? And I want to talk about the preseason. The preseason, for a lot of people, and I saw it earlier on the YouTube chat presented by Champ Honda, all right? I saw, hey, preseason doesn't matter. Preseason's irrelevant. And I just don't believe that, and I definitely don't believe it this year especially. And we'll talk about why here in just a couple minutes. But to look at some of these games, it is week 1 of the preseason is Friday, August 14th in Atlanta against the Falcons at 5 o'clock in the evening. Week 2 of preseason is the following Friday on August 21st, hosting the Green Bay Packers. That game is at 7 o'clock. And then the following week, week 3 of the preseason, is also here in Denver as the Broncos host the Minnesota Vikings. I say this almost every single year that I've been on the air. These preseason games, especially for families and households who grew up like yours and mine did, where you don't have a lot of resources and you're not going to make it to, many regular season games, if any. You didn't go to any Bronco games growing up, right?
No, I didn't. The first time that I was at the stadium was the state championship. And see, I didn't even get to play in it because I blew my knee out. So the first time I actually got to go to a game, I was playing in it with the state championship. I didn't play, but the Colorado versus CSU. Versus CSU.
Oh, the Rocky Mountain Showdown.
Rocky Mountain Showdown. It's over there, and it's not going on anymore. But that was my first time really being there in the football stadium, and then my first game was playing in it. Z.
That is crazy. So yes, the state championship, but that's not a Broncos game.
No.
CSU, Rocky Mountain Showdown, that's not a Broncos game. So the first time that you were actually at a Denver Bronco game, living in Denver your whole life, was playing for the team.
Yeah, and actually what's crazy is I've been to a lot of Denver Nuggets games because of free tickets. Being in the DPS, there's sometimes they would give you free tickets and stuff like that. I've been to a couple Avs games. But for the Broncos, maybe I could have got tickets. I just never went to one.
Yeah, and so I'm bringing that up because preseason, the tickets are way more affordable.
They are.
And by the way, the regular season prices, even these last 2 years, man, what a difference from the previous 8-9 seasons. I used to get tickets offered all the time. People had season tickets and had stuff going on. Like, hey, you want my tickets? And now, like, those tickets are
you're not getting a ticket.
Golden tickets once again. And so, but a preseason game is a good opportunity for those families and households to try to hit a game and see some version of the Denver Broncos up close in a way that they may otherwise not. Okay. Do you think they have a joint practice with one of these teams that they have in the preseason?
I definitely think the Denver Broncos are going to have a joint practice. They've had a joint practice since Sean Payton has been there. Maybe 1 year, his first year there, I don't know if they had a joint practice or not, but I know for sure after that they had a couple joint practices. They had the Packers, they had the Arizona Cardinals, and actually I think there was another joint practice that they had. So, yeah. There's going to be another joint practice, and I can see it coming that last preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because George Payton has a great relationship with everybody with the Minnesota Vikings front office. So I can see there being a joint practice that last game where the starters do a lot of work during that practice week, and then they don't play in that last preseason game, which that should be the case. You don't want your starters playing in the last preseason game. If you want to watch the starters, you're going to watch them the first 2 games of the season. All right, the first quarter, maybe the second quarter, and the second game of the preseason, and it goes from there. And so it's going to be very important that these players take practice serious. It's going to be very important that Davis Webb, although he doesn't have his starters out there, that he takes these preseason games serious and tries to win them so that he can get ready for the regular season.
Well, you pointed out that Minnesota connection. Today we learned that Reed Burkhardt, the assistant general manager here in Denver, is actually getting a second interview in person with Minnesota. So we'll monitor that situation here as it develops. I agree. I think there's going to be a joint practice. My only hope is that, and I don't know, do you remember who the new coach in Atlanta is? I'm totally putting you on the spot.
Yeah, it's Cleveland's
yes. Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I don't know what relationship Sean has with him, but my hope is that it's not down in Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know. We want that information here.
Yeah, we want it here in Denver. So we know the precedent with Green Bay. He's got a good relationship, Sean Payton does, with Matt LaFleur. So we'll see if that is a candidate. And I don't know what the relationship is with Kevin O'Connell. So we'll see. But my assumption is we're going to have a joint practice at a certain point in time. But whether they do or don't, I think that the preseason this year holds real importance in a way that is unique to just this season for 2 different reasons. One, it has to do with the start of the year, like the first 6 games of the season.
Yeah.
It's nuts. We've never seen anything like it. And a guy that's going to be calling the plays has never done the job before. And I just think laying the groundwork of who he is going to be as a play caller. You can have a plan in your head. You can do mock games and stuff like that.
It never goes as planned, though, Z.
No. And so, like, you're going to get punched in the face, right? That's going to feel different and unique, from hitting the speed bag to actually have hands flying back at you with that analogy. It's going to be different. So honing in the craft of play calling for a young guy who's never done it before, you got 3 games to practice. And I think it's essential.
Oh, it's very important. Davis Webb, he's going to have to get it down early because of those first 6 games of the season. He's going to have to be aggressive. And how do you do it? You got to prep in practices. You got to prep in the preseason games. So, yes, Davis Webb has to get on point. And it starts with Bo Nix and having the chemistry with Bo Nix and someone like Jalen Waddle. Having the chemistry with Bo Nix and Courtland Sutton with some of the new offense that's going to be thrown in there with Davis Webb calling plays. So I'm expecting that. And on top of that, it's also about getting some of these guys up to speed, some of these young guys like Coleman, the running back.
Sure.
He's going to get more opportunities to run the ball in these preseason games because you don't want J.K. Dobbins taking the load knowing that he has injury history. So it's going to be big this year with preseason. And Z, that's how I made the team. So when people sit here and say preseason doesn't matter, it does. One, you polish your craft. You get some game action. You callous yourself back up. And so for somebody like me who wasn't drafted, it gave me an opportunity to go out there and show that I do belong in this league. And also, why does it matter for players that are going to start this year, like JK that still needs to get reps, like Cortland Sutton and Jalen Waddle? In Indianapolis, I sat there behind Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor did not take a rep in preseason. He did not take a rep during a joint practice, and it hurt him literally. The first game of the year against the Houston Texans, he goes down with an ankle. Why? Because I believe he wasn't calloused. He didn't go through that hard camp where you're getting hit, you're getting banged up, you're tweaking your ankles, but you're still practicing and running through those injuries so that you get ready for the regular season, which is a long 17-game season. And so I knew deep down inside, I was going to get an opportunity because JT wasn't going to stay healthy enough because he did not take the reps that he needed to during practice and joint practices in preseason. So, yes, Sean is still old school. We all know that. GB even said it, right? He's old school.
Yep.
But Sean is doing something right, and the Denver Broncos have been able to stay healthy because of it. Yes, they're helping and they're being smart with the Denver Broncos and these players' bodies, but also they're putting their bodies through hard things during camp. And Dre Greenlaw told us that earlier when he said, hey, the practices were hard and I wasn't expecting it, but you need to go through hard things so that you harden, you callous yourself, and you can get ready to go through a 17-game season.
We're less than 6 minutes away from a full hour of Avalanche preview and pregame show. But before we get into that, the other reason that I think that this is a huge deal this preseason, in addition to Davis Webb, and in addition to all the stuff that you just said that we know to be true, is that your quarterback is going to miss the entire offseason. So, building, not necessarily like a callus, but building a rhythm with the offense. Do the Broncos have a new star receiver?
Yes, they do.
The Broncos have a new play caller?
Yes, they do. Davis Webb, Jalen Waddle's the star receiver.
And Bo Nix is not going to get any of that work in OTAs, and we hope he's ready for the start of training camp. But let's just say, I'm not even going to go there, because I was going to say, let's just say he's not. It only increases the importance of trying to build that rhythm later in the summer. But let's just say, he's ready for, the training camp. Like, the 3 months leading up to that, you're not going to get any of that work. We've seen Bo meet up with these receivers and get work in. It's like, we're probably not going to see that this time around. So the importance of the summer for Bo Nix coming off missing an offseason for the first time in his NFL existence, combined with a new play caller, combined with a new star receiver, combined with trying to get Evan Ingram going with a new play caller.
Yes.
Like all these energies fusing together, the importance of the Broncos summer, I don't think you can overstate it, considering those factors and those moving parts.
There's phases to everything, and everything matters. I know we're not paying attention to OTAs, but it matters. I always bring up the story with Royce Freeman. Royce ended up becoming the third down back because of OTAs. I was not available, my wrist. So, and I really wanted to be a third down back because I wanted to transition into catching the ball out of backfield because I knew I'm 5'8", 185 pounds. I am not going to last being this so-called bell cow back. I need to start transitioning into doing the passing game, blocking better so I can stay on the field, but also I can prolong my career like someone like Darren Sproles. Instead, they give it to Royce Freeman because of what Royce was doing in OTAs. He was taking that time. He was building up. He was being reliable when it comes to catching. They go with it. They think about that stuff. And then when camp started, they went with him as a third down back, and he got more reps because of it. What I'm saying is you need these reps. Everything matters when you're trying to build up to a Super Bowl team. And we know this team to win a Super Bowl, they have to stay healthy, but they also have to be on the same page.
Yeah, the reps matter. Wait, sorry. Wrong show. So we'll see.
What are you doing on your free time?
We'll see, how they handle it. And then once you get to this point in the preseason, we're talking about this because the Broncos' preseason schedule was announced today at Atlanta, hosting Green Bay, hosting Minnesota. And those are pretty good operations, especially Green Bay and Minnesota. Like if one of those is the joint practice, or regardless if it is or isn't, that's going to be a good little test there if you do want to play some starters. And that's just what we also don't know yet. How is Sean Payton going to handle his football team this year. Every year's a little bit unique. And what kind of work do the starters get there in the month of August? We don't know. We don't know. My assumption is he's going to want to see Davis Webb at the steering wheel.
Yes, sir.
And see what it looks like. So I could see a scenario, because of all that stuff that we're talking about, in addition to this one, Sean's view of the operation, like, I'm going to want to see it. And I'm going to want to see it a little more than we normally do from the guys who are actually going to play for me on Sunday.
So are you expecting preseason games to see Bo Nix and them out there a little bit longer than they would if Sean was calling plays, just because it is Davis Webb?
Yes.
So instead of 10 plays, 15, like maybe a full quarter, which I'm good with. You got to callous yourself.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, one of those games, probably the second or the third game, you're going to see the starters play a full quarter in a way that you probably otherwise wouldn't. But if I'm Sean Payton and I'm handing over play calling for the first time in my career, and I know the start of the season is going to be essential, and if you don't handle business, you could actually be like trying to get back in the mix there in the month of November.
You're not lying.
So you have to start fast in a way that they haven't here. I mean, we've talked about it. 0-3, 1-2, 1-2. Those are the first three seasons in the first three games under Sean Payton. And so, man, if you bring that sort of energy that they've had for the last 3 years in September to this September, you're going to be 0-3, where 92%, I think the number is, of teams that start 0-3 miss the postseason. And so if I'm Sean Payton and I'm walking in his shoes and I'm relinquishing play calling for the first time, I'm going to want to see that guy do the job before it really matters. So
here we go.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It will not be long. I mean, we are rapidly approaching late May.
Man, things are flying, and all of a sudden you're going to look up and you're going to be in camp. All right, it's going to be hot. You're going to be in there with your little cute little sandals on, with your button up, or you might go with a suit this time, right? You might go with a suit.
Oh my God, guy like gets out of shower shoes and dry fits just a couple times, and now I'm like,
Well, I'm not used to that because you're the guy that puts in a bet before you take a piss. And all of a sudden, now you're looking up and you're buttoned up and ready to go?
I'm just trying to be presentable.
I got you.
Just trying to be presentable. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver, and KARS FM Laramie. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive, powered by Regen RX. And this is now The Drive's playoff pregame show, brought to you by Smart Local 9. All right, they're more than a labor source. They're your workforce partner. We are just over an hour away.
Hold on, Z.
Oh, there we go.
There's so much going on. I understand it.
There's a lot of moving parts here.
But don't leave me out.
Sorry, totally forgot.
Everybody matters. I'm trying to star in my role.
Yes.
All right.
You know what? We're going to get your woo sponsored.
All right.
We're going to get a sponsor for your woo.
But you're going to read it, right?
I'm going to read it. Oh, my gosh. All right. We're rolling downhill here on a hump day. All right. We are just over an hour away from the puck dropping Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals.
Let's go.
Just the second Western Conference Finals for the Avs in 24 years.
That's insane.
Almost 2.5 decades. And this is going to be the second instance like this. Obviously, the other one being the 2022 season and how epic it was. And I am feeling that same sort of energy that I felt in 2022. Unfortunately, and we're going to sprint to the game. We're going to get off the air. We're going to walk our show up to Denver Sports tonight. We're going to get in our cars. We're going to shoot down there to Ball Arena. We're both going to be in the Biggity building. If you see us, make sure you say hello. But unfortunately, the day got started with some bad news. Cale Makar not going to play. I know we've talked about it throughout the afternoon, but that kind of news deserves to be reset here. That's a gash, to this club.
Oh, it's a major gash to the club. And you know what? I was surprised. I was shocked. Now, obviously, Cale has been dealing with these injuries. And he had the upper body injury and the lower body injury. And so he wasn't practicing. So, of course, you can kind of put it together and say, all right, he may not end up playing. But Betsy kind of assured us that he wasn't worried until he was. So I was thinking that we were going to see Kale. And then Malinsky, that you talked about earlier, ends up, spilling the beans that Kale wasn't going to play. I was still shocked when I found out that Kale was not going to be a part of this team tonight. And it's going to hurt them in certain ways. We know what Kale can do and what he brings to the table. He's elite. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but also he's that two-way player. All right, does a phenomenal job on the blue line, but he's like that extra forward when it comes to scoring goals, when it comes to putting pressure on the Vegas Knights, because that's who they're getting ready to play, the Vegas Knights defense. And so now that he's not available, everybody's going to have to step their game up. Netjes has been really, really good, but I want to see more from him when it comes to scoring goals. He has 10 assists and 1 goal. All right, Netjes is there to score goals. That's why he was acquired by the Colorado Avalanche. That's what Chris McFarland saw in him. It's
not just to score goals, though.
But 38 goals this year, Z.
That was a lot.
We've talked about it's like he got to the 100 points, but it's the goals. It can't just be Nate Dogg in this series scoring them goals.
Well, I mean, I think we're seeing, despite now, look, if you're going to give me the choice of, do you want to see Netjes score more? I'm going to say, yeah.
I want to see some goals, baby.
But when he's got 11 points in 9 games with 10 assists, he is, I'll just continue to sort of use that phrase, he's the engine, oftentimes, an engine of offense, a driver of offense, where other players are benefiting from his supreme skill in a way that we haven't really seen. That is typically other players benefiting from Nathan McKinnon's gravitas, not Netjes in this way. I mean, 10 assists in 9 games.
Oh, it's elite now.
And a series, ending assists in overtime. That's the same way that the series started against the Wild. Netjes assist to Sam Malinsky streaking down in game number 1 to make it 1-0.
So, but if you had to sit down with Netjes today and say, hey, man, you need to do one thing better, what would you tell the man?
Be more aggressive shooting the puck.
Because that's going to lead to
goals.
All
yeah,
right.
Yeah, ultimately,
there we go.
But I just don't want to frame it like we haven't seen an awesome version of Netjes.
And I want to make that clear. Like, Netjes has been awesome. All right, 11 points. You don't get 11 points doing nothing. Right? You're doing something. But also, Nate Dogg is going to need some help. And what I said earlier was you don't have that extra forward pretty much with Kale that can bring the points. So now Netjes is going to have to do more, right? Gabe Landeskog on the first line. He's going to be with the first line. He's going to have to do a little bit more. Everybody is going to have to do more.
Agreed.
When you don't have Kale,
yeah.
all hell Kale, sitting right there helping you out.
Well, we don't know how much time Kale is going to miss. This was Bednar very short earlier today.
Yeah, I expect him back. I think he's doing a lot better. He's on the ice again this morning, feeling pretty good, so I got him as day-to-day.
Got him as day-to-day. So this is going to be a day-to-day conversation. His importance is massive. He's one of the 5 best players in the world. But this is one of the 5 big themes here, in my opinion, that will define the Western Conference Finals, is the health, all right? The health of the club. And it's not just, an Avalanche problem. The Knights captain, Mark Stone, got knocked out of a game back on May 8th, Game 3, and we haven't seen him since. And he's not practicing, and so I don't think we're going to see Mark Stone at all this series. And that's a massive deal. That's a 75-point captain of the team. So it's just not a Colorado Avalanche specific problem. And then in addition, like Malinsky and Leckie didn't play games 4 and 5 against the Wild with upper body injuries. They're going to play tonight. Manson missed 4 games of the postseason with an upper body injury. He is going to play tonight. Burns has been dealing with stuff. He's going to play tonight. So it's a massive loss, but it could be worse. It could be worse.
It definitely could be worse. But you also know what's concerning with the list you just brought out there? Majority of them are defensive players. All right, you say Malinsky. He's going to have to move up. He's healthy enough to play. And although he's healthy enough to play, we all know these hockey players are going through major injuries, and a lot of them at the end of the year, once we win the cup, they're going to come out and say we have to go get surgery. But you name Malinsky, right? He's on the defensive pairing, right? You have Manson's another one. He's going to be asked to do a little bit more. Old man Burns is another one. So those are 3 guys on your defensive pairings that are going to have to show up that are still dealing with injuries. And the only thing I'm saying this, and this is why I'm concerned, if something happens to, let's just say, Malinsky, man, you're really thin
Correct.
when it comes to defense on the blue line.
Correct.
And we know this is a long series. This is game 1. So everybody has to stay healthy, and that's why I'm holding my breath to make sure and hopefully that they can stay healthy, and hopefully Kale can get back in the mix in game 2.
Well, that would be ideal. We would all sign up for that right now. Number 2, in terms of what I think are the 5 biggest themes that will define the Western Conference Finals, depth scoring. The Avs have had 17 different players score a goal in the postseason. They're just the 7th team ever to have at least that many unique goal scorers through a team's first 9 games of the postseason. It's the first time it's happened since the Kings had 17 different goal scorers through 9 games back in 1993. And this is where I believe because the Knights have real top-end talent.
Yeah.
They have champions, okay? 12 of them, in fact, more than Colorado does. But where I think their paths diverge is when you get past the top 2 lines and you get into the 3rd line and the 4th line. There is folks in Vegas who are on the record saying that the Knights' 3rd line is unplayable.
Damn.
We had our guy Ken Bulkey on yesterday from Sin Bin Vegas. He said that if you traded, and this is someone who watches every single Vegas game, if you traded their entire 3rd line for the Avs' entire 4th line, you would need to attach a first-round pick to make that swap. That is the type of difference that we're talking about. And like when the Avs just come at you in waves and it's non-stop pressure, that's what I think is ultimately going to define the next 10 days to 2 weeks.
And you talked about the 3rd line, and the 3rd line is going to have to step up. But the reason why the 3rd line is going to have to step up in this game is because Bednar has made some changes. All right, Val, who's usually on the 2nd line, he's now on the 3rd line. I think we can all agree, statistically, I'm stuttering right there, Val needs to be better. All right, get more on the score sheet, not just assists, but we're used to seeing Val score goals. The last time the Colorado Avalanche won a championship, Val was a dominant force, and he needs to do that again. Well, putting and dropping Val to the 3rd line, that gives him the flexibility to do that. So now he's on the line with Kadri and he's with Ross Colton. So what does that say? Now Val can be more aggressive when it comes to shooting and shots on goal. Now he can get in a rhythm. For a lot of the playoffs or a lot of the 2 series that the Avs have been a part of, Brock Nelson and Val, who are on the 2nd line, they were doing a lot more defensive work, more defensive oriented, more defensive minded. Now you're kind of putting him on that 3rd line, Val Nichushkin we're talking about. Now maybe he'll flourish and we'll see a more aggressive Val, and maybe even tonight he'll get the puck to go through the back of the net.
That would be great. He's got 1 goal in the postseason, and it's a length of the ice empty netter. And that same goes for Brock Nelson. He's got 1 goal in the postseason, and it was a empty netter as well. So each of those guys, if you combine their points, it's 6 points between Brock Nelson and Val Nichushkin. Man, if you told me that before the postseason started, the last thing I would guess is that the Avs are 8-1 after 2 rounds, and that's just how good they are. That's just how deep they are. But still, this is going to be a unique challenge. You need both of those guys to step up in a major way. Val, for me, is an X factor in the series. Maybe juggling the lines the way that you just articulated there, maybe that shakes things up. But like at a certain point in time, and I'll just say it like this. If McKinnon scores tonight, if Nathan McKinnon scores tonight, he'll be the 9th player ever, 9th player, not ever, since the expansions, and that goes back to the 1960s. So in my mind, basically ever. I know the sport goes back longer than that. But McKinnon can become, if he scores tonight, the 9th player since the late 1960s to have a playoff goal in 7 straight games. You know who the 8th is? It's Val Nichushkin.
Big Val.
Back in the 24 postseason, he scored a goal in 7 consecutive postseason games. The fact that the Avs are 8-1 and haven't tapped into that level of nuke at all is like it's almost scary.
Very scary, because what does it look like when Val gets into a rhythm? What does it look like when Brock Nelson, who, by the way, in the regular season was heating up at the end of the regular season, when he can get into rhythm? I mean, and they're going to have to, because we truly don't know what's going on with Kale. So when you don't have Kale, everybody else has to pick up the pieces. All right, pick up the slack. So, yes, Val needs to get going. Brock Nelson needs to get going. You talked about Val being your X factor. I'm going with Malinsky being my X factor.
Sure.
And the reason to that is because you are missing Kale, and Malinsky's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting on that first pairing with Taser. So he's going to have to – he doesn't need to be Kale. I don't need him to be Kale. I want him focusing more defensively because you do have firepower to still score the goals, but you need to play really good defense. And here's the thing, guys. You got the special teams. That matters a lot.
So I want to shift to that.
And for sure. And when you have these special teams, Kale has been the quarterback of the first power play unit.
That's right.
Kale's not here, so
Right.
who's going to be the quarterback? It's going to be Malinsky. Malinsky's going to have to do a good job of getting that puck around and moving the puck around so everybody has an opportunity to get shots on goal, and hopefully we can get one to go through the creases and win.
Well, that brings me to, I think, in my humble opinion, the third biggest theme that will define the Western Conference Finals. In addition to the depth scoring, in addition to the health of these clubs, it's special teams. Now, you could say this ahead of any series in hockey. You can say it before any football game. It just doesn't make it less important. There's a reason why we talk about it so much. What version of the Avs do we get on the power play and the penalty kill? Right now in the postseason, on the power play, the Avs are 25%. So they're scoring 1 out of every 4 power play opportunities. Vegas is almost identical. The difference is Vegas was a top 10 power play team in the regular season, and the Avs were a bottom 5 power play in the regular season. So the Knights continue to be who they've been. The Avs have risen their level here in the postseason. Can they maintain it? And then conversely, on the penalty kill, the Avs are killing penalties at a 79% rate. Vegas is killing them at an 87% rate. So significantly better on the PK here in the postseason, Vegas has been. Now, again, to turn the coin over, this is where the Avs were the number 1 PK unit in the regular season. Vegas was still top 10, ranking 7th in the league in the regular season on the penalty kill. So it's just a massive dynamic to watch, and I will put this in not your back pocket, your front pocket.
Let me go ahead and put this in my front pocket.
Does anyone realize Vegas has 4 shorthanded goals in the postseason?
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
No one else in the playoffs has more than 1. Vegas has 4. What team in the NHL gave up the number 1 shorthanded goals in the entire league?
I'm thinking it's the Colorado Avalanche.
It's the Avs. I think it ended at 13 shorthanded goals
13.
allowed. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact it was 12. I think it went to 13.
Yeah.
But regardless, the worst team allowing shorthanded goals in the NHL this regular season is meeting a team that is doing it at the highest level. 4 shorthanded goals in the postseason. No one else in the league has more than 1.
See, this is when the penalty kill for the Avs, they have to come up big. All right. And also with the power play, maybe I'll get my wish. I'm talking about, hey, Net just needs to score more goals. How can he do it? With the power play.
Sure.
That left circle that he loves to be at. Now Nate Dogg is gonna have to move to the corner. That's okay. They can maneuver around that and they've been able to do it.
Yep.
But maybe Net just can catch fire on that left circle, get a goal, get a puck to go in that, the back of the net, and then we move from there. And then of course with the penalty kill, Val, Brock Nelson, Devon Taves, Brent Burns, that first penalty unit, they're going to have to come up big and be aggressive.
Let's just continue this conversation with Will Peterson, who is live from Ball Arena, the same place that we're going to be here within the next hour. Will, we were just talking about special teams. What version of the Avs do we get on the power play? Do we get on the penalty kill? And I just pointed out, Vegas, 4 shorthanded goals in the postseason. No other team has more than 1, and they're playing the Avs, who gave up the most shorthanded goals of anyone in the entire league.
Yeah, let's start with the power play. I mean, obviously the dynamic of that changes completely without Cale Makar. You'll see a lot of Sam Malinsky up there. You'll see some Devon Taves as well, but they love running 1D 4 forwards with Cale because you can trust him like that, and so he won't be in the lineup tonight for Game 1. It's a huge development, so I'm very curious to see how it affects the Avalanche's power play. In terms of the PK, I'm really just keeping my eye on 2 guys in Marner and Eichel. And, maybe that's oversimplifying things, but Mitch Marner has been such a monster thus far in these playoffs. I mean, the guy has 18 points. Maybe it wasn't Mitch Marner's problem. Maybe it was the Toronto Maple Leafs problem. He was just playing for a really poor poorly run organization up there, and he gets out of there, and he's thriving, particularly in the postseason with Vegas. So when the Avs are on the PK, I'm watching Eichel and Marner, and then when they're on the power play, just who leads point. Again, my gut is it'll be Sam Malinsky is obviously going to be a big-time storyline to watch.
Will, when it comes to the defensive pairings going into this game, we know there's no Kel McCord. We just got done talking about that. Are you expecting the Avs to roll out, which is 4 guys for the majority of the night, Malinsky, Taves, Kulak, and, of course, Manson? Are you expecting them just to roll with those guys for as long as possible?
I mean, yeah, especially, Phil, if it's tied in the third period. I think you'll see Jared Bednar do that, knowing the importance of getting game one and not giving up home ice back to Vegas, a team that beat you 3 times in their barn in 2021. I mean, this is a huge swing game. I think the Knights will feel like they can really steal momentum if they win this, and if the Avs hold serve and then get Cale Makar back, Vegas is going to be thinking, oh, gosh, we couldn't beat him without Cale. How are we going to do it with him? So, yeah, particularly in the third period, I think you're onto something there, but you know, a guy like Jack Ashan, who played pretty darn well in my eyes, particularly in Game 4 in Minnesota, and there was a stretch in the third period. He was blocking pucks in front of the net, and you're looking at the number going, who's that? Oh, yeah, it's Ashan, and he was in for Malinsky. He'll be in for Makar tonight. He's only going to play, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes, something like that, if I'm just ballparking it, but I do think if guys get a jersey, Jared Bednar's gonna roll him out there for at least parts of the first 2 periods.
Will and Will Peterson joining us live from Ball Arena. Well, when you think of other themes that will define the Western Conference Finals, where else does your brain go?
Well, I definitely think it's the goaltending, because Scott Wedgwood, in my eyes, guys, he's got to have a good game tonight. I mean, think about it. He got pulled in Game 3. They lost. Mackenzie Blackwood gets pulled in Game 5. They win. That means 2 of your last 3 games, your starting goaltender hasn't finished the game. The Avalanche need Wedgwood not only for the whole series, but if we want to focus in on tonight, I mean, they need him to give up 1 goal tonight. I mean, maybe pitch a shutout. I get I'm asking a lot, but they really need this goaltending stabilized, because what happens if you look up and it's 3-0 Vegas after 20 minutes, and here comes Mackenzie Blackwood? Like, it just would continue that topsy-turvy theme that I think Jared Bednar would like to avoid. I think he's comfortable playing 2 goalies, but at a certain point, one of these guys got to put their foot down, and Scott kind of did in Game 5. I mean, played 44 minutes, but didn't give up a goal, only facing 7 shots. So I just think it's utterly paramount on the Avalanche side of things that Scott Wedgwood is the goalie, and he establishes it tonight with a really nice, not bounce-back game because he was good in Game 5, but bounce-back game as a starter, I guess.
Well, we all know the Avs have 4 deep lines, but for you, what line needs to come up big tonight to get the first win?
Well, I think it's the second line. I mean, depending on how it ultimately shakes out, we'll get full lineup sheets here in about 10 minutes. I understand what they're doing at Morning Skate, but that's always subject to change wherever Val Nichushkin and Brock Nelson are. And let's say they're on the second line together. That they just got to get going. I understand that Matt Boldy didn't have a great series for the Wild, but you're not paying those guys a combined, $15, $16 million to have 3 goals in the postseason. And oh, by the way, fellas, all 3 of those have come without a netminder in the crease.
Correct.
3 empty netters from Brock Nelson and Valerian Nichushkin. So we can sit here and go, they're playing great defense. And sure they are, but you don't pay those 2 guys to play great defense. You pay them to put the puck in the back of the net and create scoring chances. So, Phil, if they're together, it's definitely the second line. They got to get going.
And, Will, if you think of an overarching X factor for the series, it could be a dynamic in terms of a scheme or an individual player. Who's an X factor for you?
Well, I mean, the biggest X factor is the health of Cale Makar, because they've got to get him back at some point. I had someone ask me today, well, can they hold him out and just save him till the final? And I'm like, guys, this is the Western Conference Final. This is the equivalent when the Broncos made the AFC title game and Bo Nix couldn't play and they lost and their season ended. And I don't know if the Avs would lose if Cale doesn't play, but his health is just going to be such an X factor and such a story to the point where, you know, come Friday, Morning Skate, you're going to have a lot of eyes on Cale Makar. Like, it's just going to be a constant topic of conversation until he gets back in the lineup. But, I mean, just to give you one more, and I don't even know if he's necessarily an X factor, but it's Josh Manson, Zach, because I just thought that stretch he didn't play toward the end of the Kings series. Obviously, they were fine without him in Game 4, but the start of the Wild series, it just felt helter-skelter on defense at times. It didn't feel as calm to me. And then we all know, of course, what happened in Game 4 with the McCarron drama and getting called a dirty player. But I think Josh Manson staying on the ice, you know, he's not the biggest household name, but it just feels like when he's out there, the Avalanche are better defensively. They're certainly tougher. They're grittier. Manson will go toe-to-toe with anyone. So I think the health of Josh Manson could absolutely make him an X factor in this series.
Will, great stuff as always. We will probably not see you at the game, but enjoy it. Soak it all in. I mean, this is rare. And I know, if we're learning anything with the Denver Nuggets is that windows are not guaranteed to be open. This is not a birthright. This is just the second time that the Avs are having a Western Conference Finals in 2.5 decades. So soak it up, Will. Soak it up.
Yeah, no, definitely I'll be soaking it in. I'm glad you guys are too, and you're going to be down here. They did do T-shirts on every single seat plus pom-pom, so I can report that you're getting not only a T-shirt, but you're getting a pom-pom as well.
Right, here we go.
There's some really cool photos that are coming out, and I put some on my Twitter as well of how good Ball Arena looks.
Man, I love it. And I'll just tell you, I'm coming down there with a 7-year-old, so the fact that pom-poms are going to be there is actually kind of a big deal. Will, great stuff. We'll talk to you down the line.
Okay, thanks. Take care, guys.
All right, there he goes. Will Peterson live from Ball Arena. More lingering questions ahead of Game 1 coming up next.
Avalanche, Golden Knights. It's the Western Conference Final, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is all in. 1 hour before puck drop, we're live with full pregame coverage, keys to the game, bold predictions, and the intel you need. When the final horn sounds, we're not going anywhere. Instant post-game reaction. Every hit, every goal, every save. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of my friends at Homestrong. Imagine turning that cold, wet crawl space into a clean, dry, fully finished basement without calling anyone but Homestrong. Guys, they're family-owned with over 20 years in the foundation and concrete industry and the most experienced crews in this state. They repair foundations, waterproof basements, install egress windows, lift concrete, and even build new foundations. Guys, if you see cracks or water issues, get a free inspection and quote. Most work comes with a lifetime transferable warranty and financing is available. If it's at or below the ground, Homestrong is the best around. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. For over a decade, Bluebird Windows and Doors of Denver has been servicing the Front Range with products built to withstand Colorado's unpredictable weather. Bluebird's Sunrise Collection windows are built to last a lifetime and are backed by strong warranties. Right now, buy 3, get 1 free through May. Mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans. You'll save an additional 5%. Enjoy the outdoors through energy-efficient Bluebird windows. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you, Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
In a city full of choices, your savings destination is Groove Toyota, the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro. Over 300 new Toyota Tacomas, only $399 a month lease. Visit GrooveToyota.com. $399 a month Tacomas, built for the Rockies. Priced for you. Buy today in person or at GrooveToyota.com. Start here, go anywhere.
Closed and lease for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. Zero security deposit. Unapproved credit. Call 720-961-4465 for complete details. Offer expires 6/126.
Now is the best time to buy. Get ahead of the competition and get the deal you want on the home you really want. Maximize your savings with lowest rate for life, and if the market does improve, we can save you money without any additional lender fees or appraisal fees. We're here for you today and tomorrow and celebrating 30 years of helping homeowners with expanded approvals, low rates, credit improvements, and more. Call U.S. Mortgages at 303-LOW-RATE.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126. At Smart Local 9 Sheet Metal Workers, they provide highly trained sheet metal professionals ready to get the job done safely, efficiently, and with pride. Their workforce is built through a comprehensive 4-year apprenticeship program where apprentices earn while they learn, receiving industry-leading training in fabrication and installation of HVAC systems, as well as HVAC service, architectural sheet metal, testing, adjusting, and balancing, welding, computer-aided drafting, safety, and emerging technologies. Find out more at smw9.com.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Are you looking for the perfect engagement ring? Hi, I'm Scott Matthew with Matthew's Fine Watches and Jewelry. We have a great selection to choose from. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind custom ring, our associates will take the time with you to design that ring that she will love, and her friends will go crazy over. At Matthews, when you purchase your ring and Centerstone, you'll receive 20% off your wedding bands. Make the right choice. Come to Matthews and save.
Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry, located in the Highlands Ranch Town Center or online at MatthewsFineWatches.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to the Drive's playoff pregame show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, Denver's playoff headquarters.
Guys, if you have not been to an Avalanche playoff game, they are using this song in the pregame, and I'm sure you guys have seen it on social media, but I'm telling you, you talk about goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was at game 1 of the first round when no one knew this was coming, and when they dropped this beat for when the Avs are walking out of the locker room, just chills head to toe.
You're like, give me a sweater. Give me a sweater.
Just head to toe. I mean, it is one of the hardest, and it's like they have this awesome thing with the Avalanche, coming down the mountain and the, beware your 5280 and all this stuff, and then the beat drops and they open the door and it's so next level.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be able to experience that for the first time this year. You're going to be back in there. You're going to experience it again. I know there's going to be a bunch of people listening to us. They're going to be in that arena and it's going to be popping.
Well, unfortunately, and I hate to break this news to you, You're not going to experience this.
Why?
Because it's going to happen in about 15, 20 minutes, and we're still going to be on the air.
You're right.
Oh, my gosh. But I'm telling you.
Joke's on you. I'm out.
Oh, my gosh.
Is our boss in her office? Oh, let's get out of here.
She is not. She's going to game 2. She's going too. But yeah, it's such a cool pregame sequence that and you can search it out on social media because I know people have put it out there. It's elite. It's flat out elite.
I'm going to have to go look at it.
Okay. Lingering questions ahead of game 1. All right. And the Drive's playoff pregame show is brought to you by Denver Deck Builders, outdoor spaces that bring people together. Will the real Mitch Marner please stand up? Ooh. This guy, Phil, has been on a tear. 18 points in 12 playoff games this season, number 1 in the entire postseason. But here's what I'll mention. With Toronto, Marner struggled, and he struggled repeatedly in the postseason. His reputation in the playoffs has not been good. Now, he is actively trying to rearrange that narrative, but here's a stat for you that I just want to give before the series even starts. With Toronto, all right, a sample size of years and years and years, Marner struggled as the series got later into games 5, 6, and 7. He had 11 total points, 1 goal and 10 assists in 26 games played after game 4. So in games 5, 6, and 7. That covers a 8-year sample size in Toronto. And the Maple Leafs went 9-17 in those games and got out of the first round just twice. So I'm just mentioning that because, yeah, he's playing great, and he deserves the credit, okay?
He's in a rhythm right now. He's on fire.
He is, and he's got a couple brilliant goals, mainly the one last week. But that was against Utah and Anaheim. You're going up against the best defense in the National Hockey League tonight. So we'll see if Marner can maintain that blistering pace that he has established for himself through 2 rounds.
What's going to be interesting to see is when it comes to the pairings for the Colorado Avalanche, all right, Marner's on the second line. He's a second-line forward. So what does that mean, right? Josh Manson and Kulak. Is that going to be the guys throughout the time tonight that are going to be with Marner? And if that's the case, someone like Josh Manson, he's going to have to be aggressive, which I like that matchup. Josh Manson being aggressive, being physical, being so-called dirty. I don't care. Knock him out for all I care, but it's going to be interesting to see how they do this.
And then I have to ask the question. I haven't asked you yet.
Do you have to?
The rest versus Russ conversation in game 1.
Yeah.
You know, we were looking at it this last week, and it felt like it took 3 weeks to get to this moment tonight. Hey, it's a positive because of Cale mainly. And now Cale's not playing. All right, he needs some more time. That's fine. But is there any fear of some Russ showing up after sitting on your hands for a week straight?
Well, definitely there's a little bit of fear in the back of my mind. That's like, damn, like they're going to be a little rusty. They're going to be a little slow. But knowing that there's been other injuries, like from Malinsky, from Burns, from Josh Manson, who has missed time, it was good for them to get this rest, and they need it, especially knowing that Kale's not going to be in there anymore. You wanted these guys well rested and ready to go. So I'm not really worried about the rust. I think these guys have been playing so much hockey. Their mentality is just different, like I said at the beginning of this week, and they're going to go in there and they're going to try to win this game on their home ice. That's all that matters. Winning this game, starting fast, and, of course, finishing strong.
I have, I'll say I got a stat that you have to hear, and it relates to the game specifically tonight. I'll give you in just a second. But first, looking at some of the history here. You go back to that second round in 2021 where the Avs had a 2-0 lead against the Golden Knights, and Vegas came back and rattled 4 consecutive victories and ejected the Avs from the postseason. Now, the next year, the Avs were so gashed by that. It was such a rallying cry into 2022, and then they went and won the Cup. What happened a year ago? It was the most gashing playoff loss that you could ever imagine. A Game 7 loss to your rival, and the first of its kind in NHL history, a third-period contained hat trick for Mikko Rantanen. That was, like, arguably the worst postseason loss in the history of the team.
Yeah.
Now, there's some others, but that is right near the top, and you hope that that propels this group. But going back to that 2021 second round against Vegas, McKinnon was on that team. McCarr was on that team. Taser was on that team. Gabe was on that team. Val was on that team. LOC was on that team. And so those guys, they still carry that. You know, the Avs could have went back-to-back. They were the favorites to win it all in 2021. They could have went back-to-back, and all those players that I just listed lived through it. But so did Mark Stone, who won't play tonight, the captain of the team, Shea Theodore, William Karlsson, Keegan Colasar, Braden McNabb, Riley Smith. They were all a part of that group too that will play tonight. Obviously not Stone, but so there's
history.
There's history here.
There's history.
Yeah. Arturi Lehkonen, here's a fun stat for you. Arturi Lehkonen logged a series-clinching overtime goal against the Golden Knights in Game 6 of the 2021 Stanley Cup semifinals. He was playing for Montreal at the time. So maybe there's some good energy there with some of that history of stinging Vegas. By the way, Lecky's 4 career series clinchers are the most among any active player in the NHL right now. Nicholas Waugh, we know some of the history with him. He skated around with these Vegas Golden Knights, lifting the cup in 2023. All right. And then he was traded to Toronto by Vegas for Mitch Marner in July of last year. And then Waugh was then dealt to the Avs by the Maple Leafs in March. So the Nicholas Waugh winding turns, being with this same group.
Coming back full circle now, man.
It really is. It really is. So I wanted to pass that along. I find that interesting. And then this is fascinating too. Vegas was not even a team 10 years ago. They're a new group. They're somehow making their 5th appearance in 9 seasons into the conference finals. That feels impossible. They've been so good, but it's their first getting back to this point since winning the cup in 2023. And I know I mentioned this earlier in the show. McKinnon enters Game 1 looking to become the 9th player since the 1968 expansion with 7 playoff goals in 7 straight games. All right. If he pulls it off and scores tonight and scores for a 7th straight game, he would be the first since Val Nichushkin, who in 2024 went 7 consecutive games scoring. So there's a lot.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot. You add up all the layers. It's but this is why we love sports.
And this is why the Colorado Avalanche are who they are and are where they are right now, because of the buildup with some of these players and Nathan McKinnon, the history here. This is why we watch sports in general, but this is why the Avs can do it and they can win it all. It starts tonight, baby.
It starts tonight. I'll give you one more stat on the Vegas side. Jack Eichel, one of the best centers in the NHL, top 5. All right. He needs 2 points to reach 60 in his postseason career. He can become the 3rd fastest U.S.-born player in NHL history to hit that mark, all right, behind only Kevin Stevens and Brian Leetch. So it's a heavyweight fight. Get your popcorn, although I do have a stat pertaining to Vegas specifically, in Game 1s specifically, that you're going to hate. We'll pass that along and give our predictions coming up next.
You asked for it, you got it. Backed by popular demand, it's the Drives Brouhaha.
Big social brouhaha.
This spring, Zach and Phil are back on the road, bringing their party to you. First stop, the Golden Triangle in Denver. May 22nd from 2 to 6 at Schoolyard Beer Garden.
There was quite a brouhaha.
Come find out what the commotion's all about. Head to DenverSports.com/drive for more details.
Guaranteed to bring the brouhaha.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Hey, it's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors, your siding, windows, decking, and roofing specialist. During the month of May, 5280 Exteriors are offering you $1,000 off a new project. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
How about 60 seconds that'll make you actually feel good for a change? Hey, Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. You've heard me talk about the best free meal in Denver. And I had some listeners that had heard me talk about how I used to love to make brisket, but with outrageous beef prices, we just couldn't afford to do it anymore. We can't afford to feed that many people. Well, a guy, Barbecue Bob, showed up to one of our first and third Thursdays with a couple $1,000s of brisket so he could just help people. We're going to make free brisket here coming up in the next couple months for our best free meal in Denver. And then another guy, Fred, who runs the Ace Hardwares over on Gartrell Road and Arapahoe Crossing. He said, from now on, all your fuel you need for that barbecue is on me. And another guy, Bobby Hancock from IHOP. He fed our volunteers and gave thousands of dollars worth of gift certificates to our people that take advantage of the best free meal in Denver. If you want to help, you can. Just spread the word. It's the best free meal in Denver every first and third Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. It's at Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road. And if you have any questions, just call us at 303-LAW-4040.
Hey guys, it's that time of year. Time to get your lawn in great shape for the season. And when it comes to healthier, greener grass, I know of no two better products than Rich Lawn Turf Food and Revive Ready Spray. Rich Lawn Turf Food is premium organic-based fertilizer that builds stronger soil and keeps your lawn lush and green longer. And you'll find Rich Lawn Turf Food along with Easy Green Grass Seed, Iron Rich for yellow lawns, and Go Rich organic-based garden fertilizer at the Home Depot or your local garden center. Then give your lawn a boost with Revive, the fast-acting, organic-based lawn treatment that helps create thicker, greener grass with deeper watering and deeper roots. Say goodbye to the backyard blues, guys. With Rich Lawn and Revive, your yard will be ready in no time. Find it at Home Depot or your local gardening center.
This is Terry Wickstrom. I want to tell you about a great new partner to Terry Wickstrom Outdoors, Mad River Mortgage, your reverse mortgage specialist. If you want to secure your rest of life housing, maybe come up with some extra cash, or have a line of credit available to supplement your senior lifestyle, call my friend Mike Rabin at 303-396-2804 and ask about an FHA-insured home equity conversion mortgage, or go to madrivermortgage.com, NMLS 1504779.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Hey Glenn, how many times can you say Denver Roof Pros in 4 seconds?
Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros.
Hey! One Wheel Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. You are listening to the Drive's playoff pregame show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, Denver's playoff headquarters.
When they see me out in traffic, they say Jeezy on some other shit.
Final segment here on the Drive. And we got some company. Justin Adams, John Davis.
The boys.
They're going to have your back on Denver Sports tonight. And then when the final horn rings there at the conclusion, whether third period or overtime, and we hope it's not overtime for a stat that I'll pass along to you in just a second, but they're going to do a full-blown post-game show, so I absolutely love this. Fellas, welcome in. Any nerves here?
Yeah, man. No Cale Makar. If you're Vegas, Vegas plays urgent. Vegas plays hot. If you're Vegas, you're going, we steal this one. It changes everything. It changes home ice. I mean, that's a real opportunity. Now, they're not fully healthy either, but no Makar in there. The Avs can give up some clean looks when Makar's not in there. So I like the Avs to win, but I'm not. That team plays urgent and they play fast. So, yeah, pretty nervous without him in there.
If you look how the Avs played in Game 5 of the Wild Series, they didn't come out with urgency. And that's what concerns me, to your point, John, is that they gave up 3 goals in a blink. And so if you do something like that against Vegas, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. This is not where you are able to come back and have, the Wild go and play this prevent defense for the second and third period. You will find yourself in a lot of trouble in this one.
I have a stat that I'm just telling you in advance you're going to hate, but I have to pass it along. The Golden Knights are 7-1 in their last 8 playoff game ones. 7-1 in their last 8 playoff game ones. They've outscored their opponents in those 8 playoff games 32-21. So that's not great, but that's, how much of that is connected to the Avs. This is going to be a different challenge for Vegas tonight. This isn't Anaheim. This isn't Utah. This is the best defense in the league, the highest scoring offense in the National Hockey League as well. I want to talk about maybe some bold predictions, Phil, for either Game 1 or for the series. But before we do that, just to reset what I believe is the 5 biggest themes that will define the Western Conference Finals. Depth scoring, the health of the club, who's better in net, Nathan McKinnon versus Jack Eichel, and then special teams. I think those 5 things will define the Western Conference Finals. The stat that I just mentioned or alluded to, rather, that, hey, not hoping for overtime. One, I don't want to be out until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
but
please.
two, and I guess it's the earlier start here, so that's a little
so we'll
dramatic.
get back midnight.
The stat that is impactful in relation to overtime, Carter Hart has really come on here for Vegas in the net. He has been a part in his career 6 overtime postseason games, and he has never given up a goal. He is perfect 6-0 in the postseason. He has stopped all 40 shots that have ever come his way in an overtime in a postseason game with a save percentage of 1,000. Can't get much better than that. I don't like the Game 1 history with Vegas. I don't like the overtime history with Carter Hart. Hopefully the Avs can avoid overtimes and turn that Game 1 stat on its head.
So we don't want overtime because we don't want to be out late because we're older, and we don't want Hart end up stealing this game because he's done great in between the pipes.
Yeah, let me give you another reason, more practical and personal. I have to wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm on TV at 5 in the morning. What is going on, man? Are you okay with your water?
What do you mean?
I mean, you just almost missed drinking when I said I have to go be up at 2:30 in the morning.
That's extreme. I forgot your schedule. That is extreme.
So please end this on time.
Yeah, that would be great. Phil, give me a bold prediction for either Game 1 or for the series.
Yeah. So for this one, the Avs are winning this one tonight. I know you put the stat out there about the Vegas Knights in Game 1s, but the Avs are winning it tonight. My X factor is going to be Malinsky. Sam Malinsky's going to have to turn it on because Kale is not available. Sam Malinsky's going to have to be the quarterback on the first power play unit. And if my bold prediction is Sam Malinsky's going to get in there the first power play, and he's going to score as win this one tonight. It is going to be 3-1.
I love it. Look, for me, I think the biggest point of emphasis tonight, especially without Kale, is their defense. And I know that's not as sexy to talk about than the offense and the high-flying nature that the Avs can have. But when the Avs buckle down and play defense, they're the best in the league. They are. And I'm talking the forecheck, the back check. Just be relentless. 4 waves of defense. And look, Vegas is a good team. I think the Avs are a great team. And I think the defining, feature within this series is that depth scoring. That's number one for me. They're really good top 2 lines, but when the road diverges between themselves and Colorado, it's lines 3 and 4. And so I think that is crucial. For a bold prediction, I'll go with at some point in this series, they will pull Carter Hart in a way that they've almost refused to. There was one point in this postseason where Carter Hart gave up 4 goals on 8 shots, and they kept him in there. I think at some point, and I don't know when the dam is going to break, but at some point in this series, because they have Aiden Hill sitting there on the bench. He won a cup with Vegas, and he just sits on that bench and watches Carter Hart play. I think at some point in the series, Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, the dam breaks, and Carter Hart sees something that he could not have imagined when playing Anaheim or Utah. I have, we'll do series predictions here. I have the Avs winning tonight. 3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
I'm 3-1, you're 3-2. I got you.
I'll go 3-2, and I think the Avs win the series. I've gone back and forth on this. I think the Avs win the series in 5. A gentleman's sweep. What do you got?
Dominant performance. Avs win the series, but they win it in 7. This is going to go all 7. This is going to be a tough matchup, and Nate Dogg himself has already expressed and said they're preparing for a Game 7. Not because they're going to be, but just in case there is, they're ready for it. Game 7, and the Avs win it.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. We'll be back at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We step aside. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250 gift card to fill up that cooler? Download the Denver Sports app now and enter today. We'll see you at the lake. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Denver at 720-637-9567. 720-637-9567. That's 720-637-9567. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdenver.com.
All right. What's going on? Phillip Lindsay here. And if joint pain is holding you back, hear me out, guys. You need to go see my friends at Regen RX in Denver. Why? Because they are on another level. They don't just do guesswork either. They build a real plan for you. Maybe you need some Wharton's jelly to support the joints. Maybe it's the shockwave therapy that they have that can get the blood flow back going again. no matter what it is, they have for you. And they're going to even give you a 6-month booster to keep your results feeling elite. And the best part about going to RegenRx is their consultation is completely free. You heard me, it's free. No risk, and if you're dealing with degenerative joints or long-term pain, see if their stem cell therapy is the right move for you. It's about quality of life, guys, and you guys all know that. Staying explosive, staying active, and of course, staying present for your family. So give my friends at RegenRx a call today at 303-630-9770, or you can visit them online at regenrx.co. Again, that's regenrx.co, and let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
For over a decade, Bluebird Windows and Doors of Denver has been servicing the Front Range with products built to withstand Colorado's unpredictable weather. Bluebird's Sunrise Collection windows are built to last a lifetime and are backed by strong warranties. Right now, buy 3, get 1 free through May. Mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans. You'll save an additional 5%. Enjoy the outdoors through energy-efficient Bluebird windows. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
I'm Rob Wilhite. For almost 50 years, Colorado has trusted the Wilhite Law Firm after serious car accidents. With over $1 billion recovered, we know how to win for our community. Injured? Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com. That's WilhiteWins.com.
At AutoNation, there's no pressure, no surprises, just the keys. Now through Memorial Day, get 0% financing on your favorite new vehicles. You'll save thousands of dollars in interest alone. Drive the car you want today with 0% financing. Don't wait. Memorial Day savings end May 25th. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation dealership. Less stress, more go. Visit AutoNation.com for eligible vehicles. 0 APR for a limited term with approved credit. Cannot be combined with other offers.
Hey, it's Zach here. Are you seeing cracks in your home's drywall or foundation?